What's up, guys? FrugalBC and Merry Christmas. It is the FrugalBC Christmas special. I called it a very FrugalBC Christmas because it's just a title I got a big kick out of as a kid. There'd always be some be like a very Charlie Brown Christmas or something like that. Um, it used to be kind of a joke in the office that we used to do too. So I think it's pretty interesting. But welcome to the show. Quite a few guests invited today to the Frugal BC Christmas special, so we'll have a really interesting live stream, and we are scheduled to try to go 3 hours. We're gonna see how long we're gonna make it, and if I'm not too zonked, we might watch the Christmas movie I was in, but I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not. We got some pretty good guests coming. A bunch of people from a bunch of content creators will be joining me, as well as Fred Astante very likely will be coming on from the Algorand Foundation at 2. John Woods, we were very close to nailing down. Couldn't quite get that scheduled, but he will be. He wants to come on early in January or February, so we'll probably bring him on then. And Everyday Algonaut already in the chat. What's going on, Everyday Algonaut? Good to see you, buddy. Oops. Thanks for being here. So yeah, we got some news to talk about, some videos to react to. We'll be having some guests on, and we're going to be giving away the Million Nico around. It's 1 o'clock now. Around 3 o'clock, we'll be giving that away. So keep an eye out for that. And I do have a plan in case we don't get a lot of guests. I really don't know. There's a few people that said for sure they're gonna make it at some point. A lot of people that were maybes, and then a few that just simply couldn't. And I have one guest that would have been a real shock, and I did hear back from him, but there's apparently a fee involved in booking him. So I think we're gonna save that to where I can maybe build a whole video around it instead. Because if I my first thought was like, well, I don't really want to pay a fee to have somebody on. But this one, I think it'd be interesting enough that I might do it, but I didn't want to do it with this live stream because I have no idea um, how that's going to work. I didn't know how many people are going to come and join in, so I didn't want to do it for this one. So we'll do that. We'll save that for another one if I do that, maybe early into next year. Yeah, we got Poke Sean in the chat. What's going on, Poke Sean? Welcome here. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody here so far. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. Like I said, to 3 o'clock, we will be doing the Million Nico giveaway. And that's gonna go to anyone who's a channel member. So just to talk about the channel memberships for a second, they start at $1. So $1, you can get a channel member that will get you can get a channel membership that will get you videos before anyone else. Obviously not the live stream, but pretty much every video that I post outside of a live stream, you can do that. And right now we have a pretty good contingency of members, but your odds are pretty good. So if you join during the stream, I'm going to take it for everybody who comes in. Folks, Sean says, good to see you, enjoying the traditional markets volatility. Yeah, we're going to get into that today for sure. I've got videos to talk about. I got videos to react to. So I got a big contingency plan. And yeah, I don't know how this is going to go. I've never done a 3-hour live stream before. I don't even know if I'm going to make it 3 hours. We got to make it at least 2 hours, right? Chats are coming in IRL. Spam in the chat. What's going on, IRL? Getting lots of little, I see her name, but nothing associated with it. Anyway, so $1 a month and that's on YouTube memberships. There we go. IRL says, Merry Christmas, Frugal BC. Merry Christmas, IRL. So good to have you here. I appreciate it. Watching on X, I appreciate that. So for those watching on YouTube, if you want to be a channel member, you can sign up in the community tab. We have a $3.99 tab that will get you so videos that nobody else gets to see. That's only for you. And then we have a $7.95 tab that gets monthly video calls. And we have a couple in there that no one's taken advantage of the that benefit yet, but I will keep reaching out and when they want to. But you also get the videos too, so we can do that. But a lot of people were asking for that $3.99 tier, so that's there now. And like I said, at 3 o'clock, Feely from the Algorand community is going to come on and help me. She's involved with the project over there at Realms, and we're going to give away $1 million Nico to channel members. So stick around for that. John M says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, John. Good to have you here. Everyday Algonaut says, I like the volatility as well. The vote is third by volume now in Vestige. We'll be definitely looking at that. Yes, and so originally my plan for this was to have a big subathon live stream to get me to 5,000, but as you probably have seen, I ended up reaching 5,000 in early December, which was quite a surprise to me. The way it was looking, I was getting enough that it looked like I would maybe, if I pushed it a little bit, I could get to 5,000 by the end of the month, and we got there. Ended up getting there much sooner than I expected. So one thing about this live stream is a lot of people, for this is a travel day for a lot of people, so that might make it a little bit difficult. But we got some updates on Hawk Tua, so we'll girl that we've been covering that rug pull, and yeah, there's some news around that, and a rug pull in Algorand. It's a really confusing one. There's a lot to that story, so we're going to get into that. Hopefully, one of our content creator friends will join, and we can chop it up together, but I am prepared to do that on my own. I've got my water. I went to the bathroom. So yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff coming up, and I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Obviously, if you're not subscribed to the channel already, I'd love you to do that, as well as hit the like button. As I always say, you don't have to smash it. You can just press it gently. It works just fine that way too. And I should probably give a quick shout out to our sponsors before we get going. So a big shout out to our sponsor, Non-Fungible Domains. In fact, I should look. Let me just share this really quick. So non-fungible domains, you can get that .algo address just like I have. You can mint your NFT. There's actually a marketplace to find NFTs for sale, and it's now a yearly fee. So if you don't have if you don't have one already, if you already had one, you're kind of grandfathered in, which I think was a good idea. They were going to change it initially, but they were going to change everybody's to a yearly, and then they retracted that, and only new ones are now the yearly fee. So, which makes sense, because if you bought it under the idea that it would be one-time fee. So I bought mine. I've had it for a long time. FrugalBC.algo, and it just makes everything in Algorand that much easier. And I want to show you one more. This is our other sponsor. This is Marcus. Yeah. Shit. Sorry about that. My bad. Wow, did I ever screw that up? Sorry about that. I'm back. Third World says, first time joining your live stream. Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to you. I am so sorry about that. Sometimes I hit the wrong button. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if there's probably some kind of interruption there. I accidentally I meant to change this tab. So this is our sponsor, Marcus Aurelius, and you can join the Little Stoic Army by joining this meme coin and an NFT projects. And I just kind of want to take a quick look at the roadmap. So, they have a pretty extensive roadmap, which includes NFTs, partnership with Realms, NFT airdrop holders, published a Stoic philosophy book, which I'm excited about. Eventually develop and launch a 2D NFT game, release full animated series, revenue sharing with holders. So there's some really cool stuff going on here, and I'm happy to have them on board. Marcus is a pretty straightforward dude, and we like it that way. We like to shout out people who are doing it right. So appreciate you guys, Marcus. Poke Sean says Red Rocket countdown liftoff. I think that was yeah. Sometimes they don't show up on. They probably show up on YouTube, but not in my. They might not look right in my my window here. But so happy to have everyone here. And why don't we get to? I think that's all the housekeeping I have. So why don't we get to the markets here? And so it's interesting. If you look at the fear and greed index, and that's interesting to look at. We're actually still kind of, and even this morning when things were a little bit worse than they were now, we were still in this territory between neutral and greed. So we didn't even with all that, everything that happened, we still kept pretty high in terms of the greed fear index. So generally speaking, this is around the idea that Warren Buffett said, where when people are fearful, you should be greedy, and vice versa. And that's actually the way this is measured. So it's not opposite. When you're in greed territory, you're probably in crypto, especially, you're probably taking profits. And when you're in fear territory, that's usually when you're building your bags. Oops, I did not share that somehow. Hold on a second. Where did that go? That's really weird. Sorry about that. I don't know why that disappeared. Of course, on our live stream, that's what's going to happen, right? Anyway, here it is. Yeah, so like I said, typically when you're in fear territory, that's when you should be buying typically, which we were in the last couple of years. And then once you hit the greed index area of the thing, that's usually when you're taking profits. So it's interesting that we're still technically in greed territory. Now, if we look at the market, yeah, so Bitcoin actually dropped as low as 93. It's back up to 97, so kind of reversing a little bit. And that's kind of what we're seeing in the market right now, which is kind of interesting because like Solana has been kind of sideways it ran up really early compared to everything else, and then it's just kind of been sideways since. Yeah, Cardano was over $1 for a while. It's back down. Chainlink was over 25. Actually had a little sell order on that. Sui's still sitting at like 450. That's actually really good. That's really good. Shiba has been sideways lately. Hedera, I mean, no, so this is where the coins get interesting, right? Because Hedera for a long time was sitting around 5 cents. So this is still a 5x from not that long ago, probably like a month ago. In fact, we should look at this. Yeah, if we go back a month, we're still up 120%. Now we were up more like 400% not too long ago on the month. So that's this is still it's definitely a pullback. I mean, look at we hit like what did we hit? 40, almost 40 cents. Yeah. I still think we got a lot to go towards next year. So it's gonna be don't think this is like over by any means. I think it's interesting, people were getting mad at the release schedule for Hedera for HBAR, but now you're coming into the bull market with most of the supply out. Now, I've been critical about how much that actually means typically, but that's pretty impressive. So that's Hedera. We'll just keep going down the list, and then we got a lot of cool stuff to get into. I don't really know much about Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, Near's been around $5. I mean, so most of my buy-in with Near is probably around $2 just because I bought back in on a dip after taking some profits higher up. But before it was like $1.14 or $1.21 was my average buy-in, something like that. So I'm still pretty happy with that. Yeah, Polygon. Polygon's just been a disaster for me. That was one of the worst little buys in my portfolio. But my portfolio is completely de-risked, by the way. And yeah, Algorand down to 33 cents, which sucks when you were up above 50, but just to put it in perspective, I think we're down around 30 cents earlier this morning, I think. I read about that. Yeah. Below 30 cents even. I think when I looked at it, it's probably right around here. Yeah. Interesting. But if you can zoom out a month, we're up 56, almost 57%. So not as much as Hedera. And it was trailing Hedera a little bit even before the retracement, so to speak. So still good action on Algorand. We'll dive into the Algorand ecosystem more in a second. Cosmos was up almost above $10, pretty close. I had to check out my Cosmos. I actually do some staking around Cosmos. It's pretty good protocol. So this is a new one, Pengu. This is for the Punchy Penguins coin, and it's pretty much brand new, already up to number 66 in market cap, which, especially in a bull run, you're going to see a lot of movement. You're going to see a lot of new coins in the top 100. That's really common, and this is one of them. Yeah, you can see on the 7-day, it's still up 445%, but kind of following the same patterns as all the other coins. Oh, sand. So I don't remember seeing sand in the top 100 for a long time. That's really interesting, actually. Python Network, we're all familiar with those. Kaya, yeah, I didn't know about that one. That's a new one for the top 100, newish. When I say new, I mean like it wasn't there like a week or two ago, I think. And EOS just that's a blast. Now, when you talk about dinosaur coins, I think EOS you could legitimately call a dinosaur coin because I mean that was around in 2017 when I first started getting into crypto. Helium, I'll tell you what, Helium, I'm still very happy with my Helium network phone. I'm basically getting free cell service. You can watch my review. Um, Particularly the second one I did took off quite a bit and still gets views to this day. I think I said I was wrong about Helium Mobile, something like that, but the setup was really bad. So make sure, unless you are 100% sure that your phone is capable of doing the eSIM, and if you have a newer phone, it will. If not, which I have like an iPhone 8, definitely not compatible. Just get the SIM. I would just get the SIM, and then don't do anything until the SIM card comes, because I was basically without cell service for a week. The onboarding is really terrible, but once the onboarding is done, it's like been a really good service. I actually really, I should probably have some sort of affiliate link for them because I actually do really, you can just save a ton of money on your phone service. In fact, let's come back. Let's go back. We're gonna take a little break to talk. We got a lot of chats. We got a lot of chats. Let me see. Pat Hardery's in the chat, says happy holidays, FrugalBC. Happy holidays, Pat. Congrats on 5K subs this year. On to 25K in 2025. I appreciate that, Pat. I appreciate that a lot. I think 5K is. I was shocked. I was actually shocked. I thought it was going to take the whole year to get there, and so I was very surprised to have gotten there early in the month. That was crazy. And yeah, 25K might be a bit much for next year, but we have very happy with 10K. You know. Tyler Jackson says, question on Algorand nodes. The one-click function option, does this offer rewards with consensus if you have over 30K? Or is the only node that gives rewards are the full build nodes? It should be any node that you run, as far as I know. Everyday Algonaut says that staking goes live in January. After that, you still have not just made your account online. Participation keys and register node, but you also have to opt into the staking. Yeah, so I think as long as you opt into the staking, the way they have it set up, you should be fine. I think Algorand Foundation is cooking something better than OS one cook node, but I've not checked out yet with depth. Yeah, they should be making their own option for this. That should be. I don't know if it'll be easier or harder to use than one click node. I give OS I met him at Decipher in 2022. He's a good guy. He's works really hard and is really smart, great developer. And so he made this one-click node option on his own, which is pretty cool. Um, Also, yeah, whatever happened to December? I the node staking was supposed to go live in December, and then that just seemed to fall off. That was if John came on, that was definitely one of the things I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I hadn't heard. I just assumed it probably wasn't going to happen this month because I thought we'd be hearing more about it. So sounds like I was right about that. Orca seems to have an interesting price. Yeah, maybe we'll take a look at that in a second, or at least seem to this morning. Cloudy Vibe says, "Sup, fam?" And if Algo would be, yeah. So he says, "Dude, if Algo would be tax free next year," says Spoon. Yeah. Um, so there was a thing about this, and we covered it. It was pretty interesting. I believe that there's like a 5 or 6 cryptos that if you're American based, it'll basically be no taxes. We'll have to see about that. I'm always a little skeptical about those kinds of things, but it could be. Cloudy Vibe says, "What did I miss?" Spoon says, "Damn." Speed says, or Saeed, I'm sorry, Saeed says, I thought Elk could get the $6 after seeing it underperforming on this pullback and recover. I think PT is $2 to $3 now, sadly. Yeah, I don't know about that. Here's the thing. We're so early yet. This isn't even alt season yet. Alt season really typically begins in late January, early February. So I think the fact that it had this strong performance and, it only pulled back into what was it at when I looked? Let me scroll back up. I mean, it's at 33 cents. Remember it was like around 12 cents not that long ago. Remember how excited we were about 14 cents? It doesn't done as good as HBAR, so I think that's fair, but I think we'll wait and see. But yeah, anything over 3 I'm gonna be really, really happy with. Spoon says, okay, I'm into Helium. I'm gonna check it out. Dude, I think it's great. I 'Cause okay, so here's the deal with it, and you guys can go check my videos on it, and we'll get back to the price. We'll get back to the charts in just a second here. But basically, it's it's $20 a month or 21.95 with all the taxes and or whatever, something around that. And you get unlimited talk and text and like 30 gigs a day. I'm sorry, 30 gigs of data, and then it supposedly throttles. I've never even gotten close to 30 gigs of using 30 gigs of data. So I haven't even tested that out, but I've only paid 2 bills out of 6 so far. The rest have all been free because it also has an option where you can basically map hotspots for Helium because they have a hotspot network. And so there's like certain zones, and if you map the zones, you get mobile for that, and you can take the mobile and prepay your monthly bill. So there was 1 month where they only had the yearly option available, so I had to pay it out of it, just comes out of my credit card or whatever. But then it kicked back in again. And so one thing you have to do, you have to kind of watch. So you have to watch and make sure it's actually working. I actually had it for a little while where the mapping wasn't working too. So, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's works just as well as I had Ting before that, and I don't really see much of a difference. Up north of me, where it's a little more rural, it's a little more northwoodsy. There's not as much. The service isn't as good, but my other phone was like that too. I mean, you can basically get your phone for free. Cloudy Vibe says I hold mobile. LOL. Yeah, well, I guess I do too, but mostly I just want to spend it on my phone bill. But if I ever save enough, I'm gonna if I ever save enough extra mobile, I might buy one of the hotspots. Spoon says, dude, $3 would be crazy. Yeah, I'd take $3. I thought about getting the phone plan. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Just be really mindful. You got to make sure the setup is really bad. The walkthrough process. You can watch my videos on it. I highly recommend you watch my videos on it. The setup process is absolutely terrible. One of the worst onboarding I think I can imagine. But once you get through it, then it's fine. Let's see. I'm certainly looking into staking, says DeFi with John, and welcome to the show, by the way. But the bulk of my ASAs are still going to be used in various LPs. Yeah, I'm a big LP guy, and that's probably what I'm going to stick with. It's just daily rewards, and it works really well for what I want it to do. Because it's 6.6% is what you'll get from staking. So that seems like a lot of work and a lot of algo to put in just to get 6.6%. I mean, some people will be happy with that. They're just buyers and holders anyway, and that's fine. I like to put mine to work in LPs. So, Poke Sean says we don't care about price? Question mark. Who's we? Yeah, it says Algorand is already the money and technology why sell ever. Yeah, I mean, mine's more about keeping it running and keeping that LP flywheel running. So, but anyway, we'll come back to more chats. Let's get through the rest of the. Where were we? We were in the 70s. Yeah, I was expressing some surprise that Sandbox was kind of back. I thought that one had just sort of fallen off. Let's see, going Gala. We have some Gala creators that might come on today. Brett based, Radium. Just looking for any that are. Yeah, I mentioned EOS. Blast from the past. XTC. Where's Bobby Jonas? I'd be happy to see the XTC in the top 100. I think that was the one he liked, right? I used to give him such a hard time because it was like out of even the top 200, I think. And he was, for those that don't know, he was a guy that would come on my stream and just like spam about XTC and make fun of Algorand. And we'd have a really fun back and forth. All right, let's look at Vestige here. So you can see, let me make sure that's showing up. Yeah, you can see at the top, Algo Tardio is at the top. We're going to talk about this really wild story that I still don't 100% know that I'm at the bottom of, but it's pretty interesting. Munko, this was the big favorite. It's actually down quite a bit. And Voy VOY, that's a new one. I get a kick out of that. So we'll dive into Algo Tardio because that's a really interesting story. Anyway, chips here, chips down on the week and the day, but still the number one coin, followed by Tiny. I think I have like 2 Tiny airdrops that I haven't even collected yet. For some reason, I just haven't wanted to reinvest my LPs, so I've just been letting them run. So they're up to, there's probably like $100 of rewards just sitting there. And Poker Gold up pretty high. That's interesting. Followed by Vestige, DFly, Akita Inu, Munko is like the big. If you look on the week, it's still way up. Let's dive into Munko a little bit. I like too. That's got the little Rug Ninja. So this one had a little, yeah. So Vestige, if it came through Rug Ninja, it's got the little Rug Ninja on there. That's going to be a key part of our Algo Tardio story, by the way. Yeah, so this is what typically happens with ASAs, and I've talked about this. They come shooting up, and everyone gets excited right around here. You guys are seeing that, right? Right around the top here, right around that mid range, they get really, really excited, and that's when it crashes because people start taking profits because that's what they do. That's what they do. So I usually say unless you get on the ground floor of an ASA, you're best off waiting for this little curve to sort itself out. Sorry, I accidentally looked at my email and well, some crazy stuff happening in there. We'll just leave that alone for now. If this is Munko, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's just wild. Just up and down, and not wild. It's actually pretty typical, but down about 24%. And so this is my typical ASA boot pattern. It goes way up, comes way down, and then you'll probably see a little trickle off, and that's the little boot. So that's Munko. And that's the ASAs now. As you can see, Opulus starting to fall down that market cap as they have kind of gone to avalanche. And Gore is still on the charts there. Votecoin's kind of an old one, but a lot of new ones in this. A lot of new ones in this top. 50 or so, which is pretty interesting. Let's see. And yeah, other bigger gainers, we've got something called Burb, something called Cat. Not a Rug Ninja one. Burb is, and Hellbender, not a Rug Ninja. So keep in mind Algo Tardio, because I think we're going to talk about that next once I get through the chats here. By the way, before I get to the chats, I have to give a little shout out to this is my new sweatshirt. I already got it full of fuzz somehow. It literally just came in the mail. Hold on. Turn this way. This is from B Cartel. And they sent this to me to wear on the stream. Pretty cool, huh? We got the little Algorand logos on here. I have animals, so I'm always I'm always full of fur, but I'm like full on Algorand today. But you guys know I like other chains besides Algorand, but Algorand's the one I do most of my stuff in. The rest I just mostly hold. Yeah, but I had to pay a little bit of shipping to help them out with that, but yeah, they sent it to me for free, and there's a possibility we might partner up on some merch. So Poke says, come take my liquidity. We is the quote from Algorand Foundation. Thoughts on Vara? I haven't looked into that one. I don't understand why to marketize all the scam coins. Everyone knows those coins are rug and pull. Well, I tell you to stay away from most of them, or play around with them for fun. Just don't put your life savings into any of these. I mean, you know me. I don't even think you should put your life savings into crypto. I know that that's like the weirdest thing for influencer, but like most of my net worth is in boring old index funds, and I'll show you why. I'll show you exactly why. There's a very good reason I do that. This is why. Here's S&P 500 today, up 1.6%, down on the 5-day, way up on the month. So, and then 6 months, year to date, 25%. And this is pretty typical. We can go 5 years out. This is why I have most of my net worth in the S&P 500, and my strategy is very, very different. So the S&P 500, are just boring old index funds. You have some temporary setbacks, but generally speaking, it's just a steady march up. And so I dollar cost average, and over time, you just slowly but steadily make money. And that's how I like most. That's kind of like I see this as this is the aircraft carrier. Okay. So this is the big indestructible aircraft carrier. I know they're not technically, they can be destroyed, but just bear with me. Bear with me on the analogy. My aircraft carrier just chugs along and slowly gains steam. And then my crypto doesn't do this. Crypto, I mean, it kind of does, but it's so volatile that you have these very legible 4-year cycles, and you can plan around them. So it makes sense that when you're in the bear market, which is typically happens around the same time every 4 years, you can plan ahead for that. You can buy when its prices are very low, and then they will pump up during the bull market, which is we're in the middle of the Bitcoin part of it right now. And alt season, we're kind of at the start of that. So, and then you can sell off, and then you can repeat the cycle. But this is really different because you're just like never going to, if you're here and you're like, oh, it's overbought. Well, it's not really going to get that lower. Maybe you're here, oh, it's oversold. Well, you might not ever get there again because it just marches up. So this one, people will stay on the sidelines and they'll get poor. And I don't think that's a good strategy. I don't like to get poor. So that's my thing with that. Pokeshawn says same reason why I buy NFTs, being part of a history community and some speculation. Yeah, I think it's fine to be part of I think it's fine. I think it's fine to be part of part of a community. I think that's fun. That's a really fun part. I was playing poker with the Wompker, and I found that to be a really fun thing to do. and just kind of gets you to be part of a community. I didn't have to have. I know the people, so I didn't necessarily have to have one of the NFTs, but it can be a really good way just to kind of like insert yourself into a community. Travel Tim says, I know you don't like to talk about price, but wow, algo bouncing off the macro point of control, 28 cents perfectly. Yeah, it did bounce right off. That's true. Okshan says there are bad actors outside of crypto as well. Absolutely. I do think it can make them a little easier sometimes. Bokshan says W sweatshirt. Yeah, I mean it's pretty cool that they sent it to me. They knew I'd wear it on the stream, and they actually have some pretty cool. You should check out B Cartel. I mean, you can Google it. You can Google it, but it's B Cartel Algorand. You actually pay, and you pay on through Algorand wallet. Obviously USDC, so you don't get a taxable event. Spoon says really cool merch. Yeah. And I want, so this hat you can actually buy in the store here, but I want to work with them because I'm not a t-shirt designer. I don't know what I'm doing. I just whip this thing together and I used the Algorand logo and put FBC for FrugalBC on it, and it was like, it looked kind of cool, I guess. I really wanted it to be at the bottom, but the thing doesn't let you. The designer thing I used didn't let you. Travel Tim says, risk a small amount of money on a high risk, high return, risk a large amount of money on low risk, low returns to preserve your wealth. Exactly. It's pretty much exactly what I'm talking about. So what we're talking about is asymmetrical upside. So with crypto, you generally want it to be a small part of your portfolio because it is pretty risky. But if you limit the downside by just simply not putting that much into it, you can save a lot of money. You have the potential to have a high upside, but your downside risk, you can only go to zero, right? And then if you take profits at the right times, you can further de-risk. So it's all about de-risk, really. We're the Algonaut dude, right? I was wondering the same thing. Imagine the money from those scam coins would flow to these projects. Speaking of, okay, so let's just get into this because I think this is fascinating. So it started out here. So some of you probably heard of Algo Millionaire.algo on Twitter. He apparently had been following me, and when I first came across him, and I didn't necessarily know who he was. He said he was from ICP and was coming to Algorand. I was like, all right, whatever. I didn't really pay much attention. I didn't buy this. He launched a coin called Algo Tardio through Rug Ninja. I didn't even know about this, but I thought it was interesting. So yeah, so this is what happened. This is from mj.algo. MJ, big supporter of the channel. Just a good guy all around. Says just in, the ICP community member after joining Algorand family created an NFT using various DEXs, NFT marketplaces, and dApps has disappeared. X count deleted. And yeah, I discovered this too. I tweeted about it. I might have saved that actually, but yeah, he's gone. And it was algomillionaire.algo. The ICP community presented many generic warnings, but mostly attacks on this guy, which he tried to refute in multiple videos and spaces. So I didn't really hear a lot about that. I'll be 100% honest. I knew a little bit about it, but I didn't even know he was making this. Well, here's the original post actually from Michael, and this is the guy. It gets worse. Breaking top influencer moves from ICP to Algo. Reason community. Nice to meet you, Scott. Welcome to Algorand. You can see Algorand, Algo Millionaire, and gone. He rugged. But this apparently is him. I thought he had like I thought he was like kind of a fuzzy dude, like he had a bunch of facial hair or something, but it says, congrats on endorsing a serial scammer and a convicted felon. He says, who is endorsing anyone? Where's the endorsement? Algorand is open and permissionless. Yeah, I agree. I mean, we're not going to vet anybody who just says, hey, I'm coming to Algorand. It's like, okay, come. You can come to Algorand, like whatever, right? Like there's no like, You don't get like a membership card or something, right? Decentralized Rob said, not sure what Algo Tardio is really what Algo Fam is about. Teach his own, I guess. Up next up, Algo for our coin. So yeah, there was some top ICP influencer only has 3,000 followers. LOL, kind of sad. Well, actually, I only have 2,800 on Twitter. So, which by the way, if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, please do so. We pay you guys if he stays with you. So, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. So, a lot of people in ICP like, yeah, a lot of people were a lot of people were calling this out from the ICP when he tweeted this. And how long ago was that? This was December 18th, and so it was kind of the next day, I think. I mean, I was in the middle of I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but my basically I was super duper busy through Wednesday, so I was only kind of paying attention to Twitter and I just wasn't knee deep into this. Anyway, so he says, but a snake always reveals himself sooner or later. During his stay on Algorand, he launched a few NFTs and even a meme coin using Rug Ninja. That's going to be crucial, by the way. That's going to be crucial. Because you might be wondering, well, hold on, hold on a second. Isn't Rug Ninja supposed to prevent rugs? Well, we're gonna dive into that. It says it makes me angry to see what he did and disappearing like that. I'm sure it was frustrating for many of you too, who were excited that an ICP member came over and tried Algorand for the first time. Yeah, I mean, I guess I was a little skeptical about this, him being a big ICP, and then suddenly he has this Algorand name, and his handle was also Algorand based. So I don't. It seemed odd, but I guess he just started a brand new account. But he had followers, so I don't know. The story gets crazier, by the way. So keep an eye out for the degens who dabble in shitcoins on Rug Ninja and NFTs. You already know the risks of this space, and yeah, I think that's fair. Even Rug Ninja, but we'll stay tuned. For the new people, always do your research. Why are you even dabbling in meme coins if you don't understand the risk? Well, what I would say, I mean, there's huge risks. So if you dabble should be the key word. If you're dabbling, dabble, put in a little bit that you can afford to lose. Like I still have 10 Anarands sitting in my wallet, and I'm not really that bitter about it. It's just kind of funny to me. But I only bought like I think it was like 5 Algorand worth or something, whatever it was. It wasn't much. I will continue to be excited for people coming to Algorand from other chains. For everyone a-hole, there are 50 great people. Algorand can't, works, blah, 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 blah. So he took a little grief for this. New people getting the spotlight, lots of attention, and people throwing money at them on blind faith. Yeah, this will not sit well for some long-standing projects and people. Just a few weeks ago, we as a community were welcoming it, super critical about every new project, trying to extract money from the X community. Now returning to the thing we criticize the most, just a bunch of degens throwing money at anything that moves, even if it's scammy. Well, I mean, I didn't, but so MJ says, I feel the launch of Rug Ninja changed things on Algorand, and then the success of Monko was really the catalyst that drove people to pursue 20 memes 24/7. I just want to see if he said anything. Yeah. Well, let's go back to okay. Mars said that. I don't know. This is Control Alt DeFi. He follows me. I don't know anything about him and thought for a hot minute that he was legitimate. The red flags came in fast. He was here and gone in less than 24 hours. Such a shame. I guess as Algo continues to climb in value, it's a good warning that the scammers will return as well. Shadowfax is a little more lenient. He says the project owner jumped ship, but the community is still steering the ship right. And the problem is Bark the Shark and Algo family? Question mark. Several question marks. Y'all need to grow up and take responsibility for your financial decisions and quit being crybabies. Yeah, so I mean, basically, like it's just sort of wild to me. People are mad just because he said, "Hey, look, there's someone who says he's from ICP coming to Algorand," but just if someone is brand new to the community, I would be really distrustful of their coin, jump right in. Let's see. I got more on this, by the way. Well, so this is really interesting because this is the chart for. Let me make sure that's showing up. And yeah, we'll come back to the chat. I promise. I just want to get through this segment because there's a lot of interesting stuff. Um, so the rug was kind of like back. Well, even like back here. Here's the rug is somewhere around here. I think this might be the actual rug right here. So it's actually been climbing since the rug. It's been falling back in the last, couple of hours or hour or so. But remember, I got to keep an eye on my thing here. But it's been climbing up. So is it even really a rug? I mean, that's wild, right? Well, and this is one of the things I think I have. Give me a second here. Oops, can't even spell book. Just want to make sure. I think I kept this. Okay, I didn't keep this. But someone pointed out this is oh, I know where it is. Hold on. I got some like I said, it's gonna get crazier, trust me. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I wrote about this today. I said so I plan on covering the Algotardio fiasco on today's Christmas special live, but ATARD is still going up, and this is what it was doing. You probably saw this in the chart, but this is what it was doing when I shared it earlier. So I said price is still stable. I'm missing something here. I know he yanked his account from X to the community, just decided screw it, let's just keep this thing going. And here's MJ. I think MJ had the best thing. He said he sold his 2 to 3% of what he bought. The launch was not botted, and since he used Drug Ninja, he couldn't pull liquidity. There was talk of a CTO community takeover. Many posts today for and against CTOs, not chief technical officers, but community takeover. Great to see the discussion. So, and I always wondered if this was possible. Like, just because someone rugs doesn't mean that the chart can't keep going, that the coin can't keep going. And this is the big deal. This is why, so Rug Ninja really limits the amount that you can pull out of it. So people might be saying, and this is the point I was going to make, people are saying, well, wait a minute. He went through Rug Ninja and somehow still rugged. How is that possible? Rug Ninja is supposed to prevent rugs. Well, it kind of did. It kind of did, because actually, if you bought, I mean, you're not down that much. If we go back to the chart here, make sure that's shared. If we go back to the chart here, I mean, I guess if you bought somewhere up here, you're down. But if you bought around here, you're actually up right now. So you might actually be up on Algo Tardio. And it looks like it actually can just keep going. The community is taking it over. So in a big sense, the Rug Ninja platform actually really did its job. It actually, yeah, he got away with. I think there was some jokes. Maybe I made the joke. I don't remember that he walked away with like dozens of dollars and took the dozens of dollars and ran with it. Like, right, he just really didn't get that much. So it's almost kind of a joke. Like, I guess we could figure that out if we went and looked at the market cap and took some guesses at it. But yeah, that seems like Rug Ninja actually really did its job. Well, yeah, in fact, he had according to this, he had the dev, he had 2.85%. So there's a lot of people that had actually much more than that. There's 8 people who had a higher percentage, and quite a few people that were pretty close. Yeah, Barb.algo has a pretty good percentage. I'm pretty friendly with him on Twitter. I haven't had him on the show or anything. Miner.algo, I'm friends with him I follow his stuff. So yeah, I mean, Rug Ninja really did his job in my opinion. But there's more to the story. So wait till you see this. Hold on. I'm gonna have to watch a video pretty soon. So Fred was supposed to come on around 2, so I'm gonna keep an eye out for that. But it was a maybe, I believe. Just checking to see if oh, actually Fred can't join, never mind. I figured, holidays is probably tough, so let's see. Go back to bookmarks, please. Thank you. And I got to thank the coop for bringing this one to my attention. So remember that picture we showed? A man is facing charges after police say he tried to sell two bikes that were stolen from a Madison woman's home. Which yikes, because that means he's in my neck of the woods. I'm not in Madison, but I'm in Wisconsin. I guess I can tell people that. And I did confirm. I actually did confirm it is Madison, Wisconsin. There's a story about on the same news site about the Madison police chief being named to Seattle, and they referenced the shooting that happened recently. I'm farther away. I'm not in that area, but I am in the same state. So he's one of ours. Sorry. Yeah, so so he apparently tried to steal bikes. Joseph S. Summers, this is him, 27 of Madison, was arrested for allegedly receiving stolen property and bail jumping, according to a news release from the Madison Police Department. So I don't know if you guys know, but bail jumping is when you commit a crime when you're on probation or you're awaiting trial. Maybe you're awaiting trial for something else. It's usually, yeah, it's when you're either on probation or when you're when you get bail from a court, they usually give you conditions that you have to comply with, and one of those is always don't commit more crimes. So if you commit another crime while you're on probation or while you're on bail, you get what's called bail jumping. And if it's a felony, you get a felony bail jumping. So you can get an extra felony charge just from committing a crime. You get another crime because you're already were not supposed to do that. Excuse me. The 32-year-old woman contacted police after two bicycles were stolen from her home in Ohio Avenue. She told officials she spotted one of the bikes for sale on Craigslist and contacted the seller, saying she was an interested buyer. And Maydon says, bro just ran a whole character arc in 2 days. I watched the whole video and was like, I'm not sure I see it, but Scott Summers felt like a funny foil. So people are pretty sure this is the person, and we showed video of that person, or a video or a photo of that person before. So it apparently is this person. That's just wild. So it turns out this guy, this is one of the ghost says, "Is this really him? This can't be real." Yes, it's him, 100%. He's a scammer. Don't worry, he is pretty beep at it. That's just wild. This is tom.sui.icp. So this is an ICP guy. Remember, ICP guys were warning us about this guy. I think there's like kind of a cautionary tale here of like you kind of have to be careful of who you trust in this space. I think it's good not to be totally cynical, but just kind of be careful where you're putting your money. I think it matters. Well, I think I'm gonna read some chats and then I'm gonna give my voice a break and we're gonna like react to some videos together. Hopefully it works. I've had it like not be super great for that, so all right. Jason Cowwhite says, "Did you see Stacy's tweet about Exodus and their launch on the stock market can hold equity of them in their wallet powered by Algorand?" Hmm. And Everyday Algonaut says, "I saw it, but their stock is not on chain to my knowledge." Interesting. Let me, well, I'm going to look. I messaged Stacey. She never messages back. I guess she doesn't like me. Uh, yeah, let's take a look. I'm just gonna look at her feed here. Algo fam dealing with ICP. He's like, nope, leaving. Is that's gotta be a reference to the yeah, it's 6 hours ago. That's reference to the rug pull. Holy crap. Stacy making rug pull jokes. I like it. Oh yeah, here it is. So this isn't getting nearly enough attention. Exod Exodus. Algo Network. Well, let's just read it. This is from JP Richardson, CEO of Exodus. Exodus Exod is now trading on the New York Stock Exchange American. History has been made. Exodus is the wait, you're seeing this, right? Oh no, hold on. Sorry about that. Some when I click a link, it opens in a new tab, and this doesn't keep up, so I have to like manually do it. Okay, I'll start over. It's JP Richardson, who is the CEO of Exodus. Exod is now trading on the New York Stock Exchange American. History has been made. Exodus is the first company in the US to trade on a national exchange and have our stock digitally represented on a blockchain. Yes, you can hold Exod and common stocks directly inside your Exodus wallet. Truly historic. Huh. That's really interesting. So basically, if you have the Exodus wallet, you can hold it right on your wallet. So is that a did they make it into a I have so many questions about this. Like, did they make it into an ASA? Because then theoretically, you should be able to have it on a non-Exodus wallet. You should be able to have it on Para or DeFi, right? I would think. I think that's really interesting. I'm just gonna scroll through and see if there's any a lot of good comments, but nobody just saying like, does this mean you might roll up an update to censor any sanctioned addresses per yeah, mostly just people saying congrats and stuff like that. That turned out to be true. Good tip, Jason. You can hold it in the wallet. Now, is it on chain? I'm not sure about that because that wasn't entirely clear. Pokeshawn says made 100% on it right after the rug. Had no clue about anything going on. Yeah, like it's like the worst rug of all time, right? Because it's actually up right now. Saeed says algo fees are so low. What if they increased it by say 5%? Use that extra fee to burn and make algo deflationary. Um, well, there's actually talk about raising the fees. John actually talked about this when he was on last Christmas. And the reason you might want to raise the fees is because right now the foundation has like very little coming in to support operations compared to what's going out. And 0.001, that's a really low fee. So um and with the price being what it is, even if it's up, it's probably more now than it was, but they were only making like it was like 1.5 to 2 million a year or something like that, which sounds like a lot, but that's not nearly enough to fund their operations. Now there is a lot of talk that people should be a little more I'm going to close some tabs here. People should probably be a little more judicious and not spend as much. I think that's a fair idea because I mean at some point like it has to kind of go away, right? So yeah, I think that's interesting. Okay, let us. Oh, I got a scam. Just checking my email. I got a scam crypto sponsorship thing. You get those like all the time, by the way, all the time. It's wild. Jason Cowie says Frugal Exod is a digitized version of the stock, a Class A share, securitized by Algorand as the holder of. Right, but is it? I mean, how is it held in the wallet? It's a digitized version, but is it made like an ASA or is it some other mechanism? I mean, I imagine it has to be an ASA, right? If you're going to hold it, just like or is it an NFT? Like so Lofty, they're NFTs, right? Pokeshawn says, I've been doing a burn for a while. It's easy to do. There's a bonfire wallet. Interesting. All right. Well, my voice needs a break and I got videos to watch. So let's start with the Algorand price prediction here. Hopefully I can hear it. And so this is like the top one. When I did Algorand price prediction, this is the one that came up. Oops, hold on. So I haven't watched this before. I just queued this up for the show. So we're gonna see how this goes. In the meantime, by the way, guys, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, I'd love it if you do so. And remember, we got channel memberships, and we're going to be drawing one channel member is going to get 1 million Nico today. So Feely should be coming on around 3 to do that. Hopefully, hopefully that works out. And yeah, no guests. I'm actually kind of surprised no guests have arrived. Because I had quite a few who said they were interested in coming, but we'll see if anyone pops in. In the meantime, let's watch this. Let's watch this video and react to it.
Have you ever wondered when is the best time to actually sell your Algorand bags? Well, if so, you're in luck because today we're going to be jumping down into the charts trying to predict exactly when Algorand is likely to peak in 2025. As I get into the video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash the like button if you're new, subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, so in order for us to truly understand where some of these altcoins might be able to find their bull market peaks, we should actually spend some time taking a look at Bitcoin and where Bitcoin has historically found its bull market peak. For some altcoins, they basically correlate directly to where Bitcoin is, and occasionally you find some altcoins that actually have slightly different paths. But understanding Bitcoin,
We actually had some ones that had a really like quite a divergence actually from Bitcoin. It was pretty interesting to see. Near protocol like didn't really take off till 2022 compared to the other alts. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Bitcoin's kind of bull market cycles is really important to understanding some altcoins. So this particular chart here is Bitcoin paired up with US dollar. We're on the 1 week Bitstamp data. Okay, now in here I've got several different kind of color codes going on. We have yellow, blue, purple, and orange, right? And it repeats itself. Okay, yellow, blue, purple, orange, yellow, blue, purple, orange, and so forth. Now what these represent, if I zoom in just over here, you have your election year, you have 1 year after the election, 2 years after the election, and 3 years after the election. This is the US election, by the way. Okay, why is it this important? Well,
Yeah, that's interesting that he puts it around the election year and not the halving cycle. Because typically the halving cycle is where we think about, kind of where to line this up because it'll come sort of in the beginning. There's kind of a little mini run up to the beginning of the halving, and then kind of a lull after the halving, and then the really big run up comes after that. So, but it is an election year, so that's coincidental.
the Bitcoin halving event happens in the election year. You can see
There
it
you
over
go.
here in 2012. You can see it over here in 2016. You can see it here in 2020 and 2024. Okay, so lots of people have kind of speculated that the Bitcoin halving is a huge catalyst for big bull markets, right? However, actually, in reflection to the data, it might just be a coincidence that the market is moving the way that it is based on the Bitcoin halving event, and it might actually have a lot more to do with the US political landscape. Okay, now in here we can see the US election year of 2012, okay, and we can have a bull market peak up 1 year after. The election year of 2016, bull market peak the year after. The election year of 2020, bull market peak the year after. The election year of 2024, bull market peak 2025, right? That's kind of the idea of what's going on here. Now,
By the way, you guys can hear this, right? I know there was some problems with that before, but I think I got it fixed. So if you can't hear it, let me know in chat.
when we start thinking about Bitcoin and how it has historically moved, here in 2013's bullish market, there was a double peak situation. Essentially, we have a early Q2 bull market peak, a collapse, and then a final Q4 move to the upside. Okay, so bull market peak actually happened here in late November, beginning of December. Okay, the year after the US election. That was 2013, right? Then we come over to the next election year, okay, so 2016. Our bull market peak was up here at the beginning of December, so 11th December, we commence in then, this being Q4, a bull market peak, okay, perfect. So as we come over here to our election year of 2020, bull market peak of 2020, we see the initial peak here, and this was again April, so we're talking beginning of Q2, and then a final peak of the bull market up in November 2021. Okay, so again Q4. Okay, so out of the three bullish markets for Bitcoin, what do we see? Well, we can see that the bull market peak has always been Q4 of the year after the US election, or the year after the Bitcoin halving event. Although I think in time we're going to see how that changes, because the Bitcoin halving event is not on a 4-year cycle, believe it or not. It actually gets shorter and shorter every time. Okay, so
I thought it's been pretty reliably right around every 4 years. So that'll be, if that's true, that's very interesting. I haven't noticed that yet, but okay.
basically 1 year after the election,
Well, actually, yeah, you can kind of see how it's getting a little bit shorter each time. Okay.
Q4 is a Bitcoin bull market peak. However, there's one other thing that we can note from this data. We see an alternating potential here. Okay, so we have a double peak here in 2013, single peak in 2017, double peak in 2021. So the expectation should be single peak in 2025.
Which, by the way, people were really upset about. A lot of people thought this second peak was going to be much higher, and that didn't happen. And I know I saw some pretty prominent people who bought right around this second peak. If you look at the 1 year right in the middle of the screen, and yeah, it took a while for them to recover, couple of years. So you got to really pay attention to the cycles and buy in the low spots, not the high spots. It is the thing that everyone knows that. Everyone knows that intellectually, but no one gets excited emotionally. You get excited when it's going up, and that's when you want to buy in, but that really should be when you're starting to take some profits. When it's down, that's when people are unexcited about crypto, but that's really when you should be buying in.
And then a double peak potentially later down the line, and so forth. Okay, so in terms of us trying to predict where altcoins are going to find their, bull run kind of peak, it's important to understand where Bitcoin has historically always seen its bull market peaks, which has always been Q4 of 2024. Q4 of the year after the election, I should say. Okay, so now that we have an understanding on Bitcoin and when Bitcoin tends to finish its cycle highs, let's take a deeper look at Algorand here. Okay, so this is Algorand paired up with USDT. We're on the 1-day Binance chart here. And as you can kind of see, and as we kind of went through in previous videos, specifically around Algorand, where to kind of dollar cost average out, or where we think the next kind of bullish highs are going to be, we can see some interesting kind of stuff going on here. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a quick look at our chart here. So we can see that we have data here on the Binance chart going all the way back to basically the very early stages of the June crash of 2019. And then, of course, we go into kind of March 2020 lows and the previous bullish market high. Now, in here, we have some really interesting kind of things that we need to kind of think about, right?
By the way, I think it's interesting that he called it a crash, because actually that was the botched launch. So I don't know. Some of you a lot of you are probably aware of this, but for those that aren't aware of this, like Algorand launched at like 3 something, like 313 or something like that, and then it just straight up crashed immediately. So, and we've never actually regained that $3 level. So when we say, we talk about $3 to $5, like, remember, those would be like all-time highs for Algorand, but over 3 isn't really that much of a new all-time high. Like, it was at 3 something when it launched. Yeah, I'd really love to hear from somebody who is involved with that, who knows a little bit about that, because I think that's pretty interesting. But anyway.
As we can kind of see the sentiment on the behaviors of kind of the buyers and traders of Algorand during 2020 and 2021, we can see that there's a good kind of surge to the upside, followed by correction, surge to the upside, followed by correction, and then finally a kind of double peak towards the end of the bullish market. Okay, so as we kind of reflect on this, what do we have? Well, we have the kind of initial surges of 2020. This aligns with pretty much everything else. We then kind of bottom out towards the end of 2020, around November 2020 to be exact. And then we get into that first initial run to the upside. Now, this is kind of very typical to kind of what happened with Bitcoin and many altcoins actually back in 2021, where they kind of peaked out a little bit early in Q1 or Q2 or early Q2, right? And so here you can see February highs pulling back, and it's quite a significant drop on Algorand during that time. So that initial kind of spike to the upside was a 63% move to the downside, basically going from February to June. After June, we do see a lift to the upside where we actually finally hit a bullish peak. Okay, so what we're seeing here, now obviously there's not a huge amount of
By the way, I know someone who bought right on that X. Like, they've since DC. I learned they since DCA'd, so they lowered their costs. But yeah, that was a rough one. They bought in, and they bought in pretty significantly, and it just dropped. Obviously, I'm not gonna say who it is, but I remember he told me, and I was like, "Oops, what are you gonna do?"
history to kind of rely on terribly too much. But what it does tell us is that we should be expecting very much similar kind of behaviors, these kind of surges, collapses, surge, collapse, surge, right? This is not an impulsive run. It's not a trend-based move to the upside from like an Elliott wave perspective. But we can in fact see that this was a corrective X wave before actually coming down into a Y wave pattern, right? So we know that this was a very corrective pattern, and things have changed a little bit with how things are currently going. But if history were to repeat itself in terms of like trying to time the market, it would tell us that we should expect Q1 to be a very interesting time for Algorand and potentially see a bit more of a drop to the downside before actually finishing that bullish run, where that would happen more towards kind of Q4 as history.
Which is, I mean, that's basically what I've been telling you guys for the last, I don't know how long, probably 2 months. I just think it's interesting that we had this little run up, because I don't think we had quite that same. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, if you look at the charts, I mean, there was kind of a little run up, and then it kind of fell back. I mean, if you look at the September on the left, just above, kind of to the right of his head, you can see that it kind of went up. It's kind of actually kind of following that same pattern. Where wait, am I misreading that? No, maybe not. No, I take that back. I thought that was before. Okay. Yeah, so it's actually hard to kind of say, because the time period we're in now is kind of like when it launched and kind of crashed right away. So I retract that last part, but yeah, interesting. Like I said, that the X and then the little pump up before that. I mean, that's what we're looking at most likely for next year. That's what I've been saying too.
Historically we have seen here being November of 2021. Now, obviously, with what happened previously being very different to what we see right now, we have to understand that we've already had a 5-wave surge to the upside. This is basically spanning those lows of August 2023 to basically Q1 of 2024. We then, of course, have had a move to the downside, and then this great run to the upside. This is very similar to basically exiting the bear market and having this collapse towards the end of the year before rallying to the upside, right? So we have this great surge into kind of mid kind of Q3 times for Algorand, and then a collapse down into Q4, right? Now, this is slightly different because of the structure, but we can see a surge into 2024, collapse down towards kind of mid Q3, and then a great run to the upside, right? So that great run to the upside, we can kind of see here coming in from these lows, right? So March 2020 up to August time, bit of a drop to the downside kind of into November. Now, obviously for us, we had a slightly different variation here just because of the inauguration of Donald Trump and all that kind of stuff and the pro-crypto stuff. But nonetheless, we can see a great run to the upside. This is very much an expected crash at the moment, and we are still looking for a lift to the upside with a kind of Q1 target range of around 89.27 cents, kind of accomplishing that kind of 1.618 kind of final move. So if this plays out as I would expect, I would be looking at this as a wave 1, this is a wave 2, a great move up higher than 89.27 into our wave 3, ending at around kind of February, March time, looking for a correction down a few months or so, probably taking us into kind of June, maybe a little bit later, before finally finishing off that kind of final fifth wave move to the upside in and around kind of the Q4 November time. This is a 5-wave move to the upside and kind of how I envision us kind of looking at a great reversal across multiple years. This does of course mean that it's going to be a lower high on the daily time frame across the years. As you can see from 2019, we could be looking at.
But why is it why does he think it's going to be a lower high? I don't think he really explained that very well. I know we did have a lower low, so that might have something to do with it, but I think it's really strange to say that. But there's not really like much reason given for there being a lower low. He's just kind of charting it out. Well, this is what it did before, and this is what it will do again. So I don't know if I'm super convinced. I'm curious what you guys have to say about it.
Maybe pushing out a little bit, maybe towards $2 if we're lucky, into those kind of ranges here to kind of hit a kind of trend line. But that aside, what we can see is basically a formation that's going to be insanely bullish for the kind of coming cycles. And what I mean by that is we completed a WXY pattern to the downside. A 5-wave pattern will be the reversal and potentially can be labeled an A wave, with a B wave for a bear market going up into new higher highs in the kind of 2029 kind of cycle. So for us right now, in terms of this video of trying to time the market, I'll be looking at 2 distinct peaks for Algorand. We will be looking at kind of Q1 for our wave 3, a wave 4 that will take us into summer, and then from there we're looking for a rally up to the kind of Q4 finishing peak of the 2025 bullish market. So there you have it, right? My thoughts and opinions as to trying to time the market for Algorand. Now, obviously, this is finger in the air kind of stuff. It's not going to be exactly playing out as we have done historically, but it gives us a bit of an idea and a bit of a way of kind of trying to map out time with our current structures of what is going on with Algorand's price action. If you found this video helpful and informative anyway, smash up.
Well, that was interesting. I could bring this down. Yeah, let's see what you guys thought about it. I thought it was kind of a strange video, to be honest. I mean, I just don't see what, maybe I don't know this wave theory, but I'm just generally skeptical of technical analysis. I just don't think there's a lot of there, but let's see what people thought. So CX says, I just talked about Algorand on web forums. I'm on to Shell. Cool. Saeed says, because the hash rate increases significantly, so miners are mining at a slightly faster rate than they should be. Are you talking about, I assume you're talking about Bitcoin? Xavier L. Martin, isn't it obvious that Algorand is the best blockchain by far? Why is the market cap so low compared to the other top 5 cryptos? It blows my mind. Well, that's something I've been wondering for a while, and we got Seawell here, so we're gonna bring him on in a second. I just want to get through some chats. Actually, why don't we'll bring up Seawell. Hey man, what's going on?
Yo, what's good, BC? FrugalBC, what's good?
Well, we're just wrapping up. Did you watch this video with us, or did you just pop on?
I just popped on. I was having some trouble. Am I frozen right now?
Yeah, the video's, I can hear you, but the video is frozen.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I was trying to. Let's see. Let me hop back out and I'll come back in.
Okay, sounds good. Do you want to give me like 5 minutes? I just want to get through the chats here
For
and
sure.
finish up this video.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, thanks, man. It says if Algo goes tax-free, we are golden. Site says it's not obvious though. ICP, HBAR, ADA seem like major contenders for best blockchain, but I agree Algo should be way higher than it is now. Should be at least in the top 10 IMO. Yeah, I'm a big fan of all of those, to be honest. They call them the Dino chains. I think that's kind of silly, but Xavier says psychology is really messing with the valuation. History, in a sense, shouldn't mean anything as an all-time high. Comparing blockchain's utility, tech, and adoption, and with that, future expectations, just like in the stock market. Yeah, I think I think crypto is very different from the stock market in a lot of ways. It's really hard to judge based on fundamentals. But yeah, I've been a big fan of Algorand because I just think it's one of the most useful blockchains with stuff to actually do on it. So it's really, really awesome. Let's see. So crypto is all about hype. It's a big part of it. Stocks are a combination of hype and financial performance. Well, there's a lot more. The market really cares about fundamental values when it comes to stocks, and that's not quite the true in crypto. Although recently we saw some reversal of that. Utility coins really had a run up, which is awesome. Everyday Frugal says you have to adjust. Frugal, you have to adjust. Everyday Algonaut says Frugal, you have to adjust also distribution of coins. In 2021, there was distributed only something like 50%. There's now over 80%. I wonder when the fully distribution. Well, I know people like to talk about that, and theoretically it makes sense, but I haven't seen that make a huge difference because why would we have a lower low and lower highs when we have more distributed, right? So we'll see. I mean, it might, like I said, we'll see. I just think it's generally like a bad idea to make price predictions with too much confidence. It's best just to have a plan. Like I said on my earlier, I said it's a good idea to have this plan and go for the plan. Follow the plan, and if it goes up higher, your plan still works. It's just take profits as it goes up. Always have some dry powder available. Always have some in the tank, ready to go, and you'll do fine. Xavier L. Martin says, Said, I think you're right. If Algorand lands a CBDC or more, the hype will be astronomical. Said says a lot of cryptos really do nothing but are worth billions. Exactly. He says, I've been giving ChatGPT a hard time when asking it what crypto projects are considered better than Algorand, and it always ends up with Algo being the top project. ChatGPT explained that Algo's branding is one major issue for one. Well, here's the thing about Algorand, and yeah, I think we can close out of this, by the way. One thing about Algorand's branding is it's always been their marketing was really bad until Mark took over. I can never remember how to say his last name. It was pretty bad for a while, and it's actually gotten a lot better. Like it's really good now. So that's very. I think that's a good thing, and I think it matters. Everyday Algonaut says, I just asked Rock when Algo at top 20. He said very soon. Yeah, see, Will, if I don't know if you're watching, you're welcome to come back on now. I just want to get through some of those chats, and yeah, so we have him in the house at least. I'm kind of surprised we didn't end up with more people jumping on. Yeah, so interesting video. I just am really skeptical of those kinds of predictions. Xavier says, shut up free videos. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Yep, I see Will has been sharing the stream, so that's awesome. Yeah, Crypto for Change might come on too, but I haven't seen him yet. Shoot, maybe I shouldn't have told him 5 minutes. Well, I got something to show you guys in the meantime while we wait for Seawill to come back. So I kind of talked about Haley Welch and the Hawk Tua girl and how she had rug pulled. Speaking of rug pulls, apparently she had gone quiet after this Twitter space with CoffeeZilla. She went completely quiet and wasn't saying anything. Had just completely disappeared basically. And here she is. She came back today and is tweeting, and she says, I take this situation extremely seriously and want to address my fans, the investors who had been affected, the broader community. I am fully cooperating with and am committed to assisting the legal team representing the individuals impacted, as well as help uncover the truth, hold the responsible parties accountable, and resolve this matter. If you have experienced losses related to this, please contact Berwick Law using the link below. So sounds like she's actually cooperating with the attorneys for the other party, which is pretty interesting. I assume people thought she was in a lot of trouble, and I still think she probably is. But my thought on this all along was that she probably was more naive than malicious. She probably should have been much more cautious about this. I think this was pretty foolish on her part. I just want to check Kick, by the way. I haven't checked in with Kick. If you're on Kick, hope you're having a good day out there. According to this, I have one person watching, so that's cool. Will is back and he's got video. So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting. I wanted to share that, and we're gonna pop that down, and we're gonna pop Will up. There's my man. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just had to do a hard reset to get me back in the game. But yeah, how's the stream been going?
Well, not too bad. I probably picked a really bad day to do my live stream here because like everybody is traveling, and I had a lot of people kind of cancel at the last minute because they're just too busy. Like a bunch of foundation people were going to come on, and they're all like they're all on some kind of deadline, probably with the staking, I bet. And so,
Yeah.
how are things? How are things for you?
Pretty good. Got a little stuffy nose, so I hope no one catch a stuffy nose from me from over the screen.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, that's why it's good that we don't have to do this in person today. But
for real.
But everything's good, man. Just was watching the crypto charts, especially the stock market too. After Jerome Powell's speech the other day, you can see it about 11 a.m. Western time. Everything crashes. So I just been checking those out. Bought a little liquid staking token, some Messina for Algorand. So adding to that position there. But
Nice.
Otherwise, yeah, man, everything's good. What's good, Poke Sean?
We got Poke Sean in the chat.
Yeah, so how you doing?
I'm good. So we covered pretty extensively this Algo Tardio situation. Have you been following that?
Yeah, I've been reading. That happened fast.
Yeah, it's wild too. Did you see the chart?
No, I did not see the chart. If you can pull it up, I'll definitely love to look at it. I just been reading all the replies and the threads. Like he came in real smooth and went to some welcoming arms, and then it turns out what those ICP people were saying was true, and then he in and out. I'm impressed.
All right, so here's the really creepy thing. He's from Madison. Someone posted a thing where he was like stealing someone's bikes. But apparently but it was a news story from Madison, Wisconsin. So apparently he's like in my neck of the woods, which is crazy. He's like probably like an hour and a half away from me.
Oh wow. So he got in-person crimes as well, huh?
Apparently. Check this out though. Like I think this on the left, this is where the rug was.
Yep.
Should we do this? Yeah. Like not much of a rug.
Oh wow.
I mean, it's been kind of falling now again, so but you can see like I'm pretty sure this big long candle down is the rug, and then it just kind of popped back up and it's been slowly climbing. So it's like, and I think the reason is if you look on the right, he only owned like 2.85%.
Interesting. So a
Yeah. So,
partial rug, maybe, or a quick exit, one can say at the top.
well, people were making jokes that he ran away with dozens of dollars.
That's a good one.
So
He had a
the
few
way I was,
dozens.
yeah, the way I was looking at this is like basically he basically Rug, I think a lot of people saw this and thought, oh well, Rug Ninja isn't it supposed to prevent this kind of thing, but it kind of did. It kind of did its job because he was only able to walk away with a little bit of money, and he really, him doing that really didn't tank the coin exactly.
Yeah, so he took what, like 3% of the supply. That's what he had initially, and
Yeah,
then
like I think it said like
rugged is 3%.
2.85%.
So how does Rug Ninja work? I haven't used it yet, to be honest. I usually just buy stuff off of Tiny Man or Packed.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like
the
they
way it
launched
works
it.
is that
Yeah.
you launch your coin on it, but I believe it releases only certain amounts to certain people, and you don't know who it's going to be.
Okay.
So, like, it makes it kind of hard to rug because yours might not get released, even though you're the founder of it. Your supply might not get released right away. It's like a timed release, and it's randomized, I believe. That's my
Okay.
understanding of it, anyway.
Well, it looks like it works.
Yeah, for real.
It should be a no rug ninja. That's what it should be called. You can't
Yeah, I guess
rug
it's
over
more
there.
like a little rug ninja.
Yeah, like just a little bit at a time. So but yeah, that's interesting. But I think yeah, Algorand community got to be, keep your arms open, but also be, watch these fade the scammers. Like I just made a song about that 0 to 100. You got to get to it, but at the same time, you got to be really cautious. That's the message of the song. Scammers are everywhere, especially in the bull market. And when someone comes in random, super aggressive, that's usually a red flag.
Yeah. No, for real. I thought something seemed a little off about it, but I was pretty busy, so I didn't even pay attention. I didn't even know about Algo Tardio, and I guess he did made some NFTs too, apparently.
Hmm. Yeah, I just caught up on it last night. Been off
Mhm.
of kind of Twitter for the last 2 days, so I missed a lot of what's been happening.
Yeah, it's good to take a break sometimes, but yeah,
Yeah,
Michael Jordan took a lot of heat from, he just kind of said, "Hey, cool, someone from ICP coming to Algorand." He didn't really like say, "Hey, go buy his coin" or anything. So,
yeah,
but I guess people are pretty upset. So I felt kind of bad for him. He's always been good to me.
yeah. Michael's a good dude. He's very supportive, and again, I think people try to, use that to their advantage. But I think he's at the foundation now, so I think I've seen
Mhm.
people were saying he should be a little bit more cautious because he's
That's
not
fair.
independent anymore, which
That's
I
true.
kind of respect. But Michael Jordan's a smart guy, and his name is MJ, number 23, so he'll figure it out.
Yep. For real. For real. Um, well, I was gonna, something I was gonna ask like everybody is first, what's sort of your synopsis on how Algorand did this year? What it looked like from the beginning of the year to now. I feel like we came a long way.
Okay, my synopsis, like I'll start with like price wise because that's what most people like. So
Mhm.
price wise, Algorand, this is what I thought was very important. So when Bitcoin was hitting its all time highs in like March, Mayish, April, Algorand also ran up with the market, right? So you don't want a coin that does not run up with the market. Then when the market went back down for that like summer all the way, until what, October, until the election, Algorand ran up with the market again. So that's a big positive that we had two run ups in 1 year. So we started the year strong. We're ending the year strong. So that's very positive in terms of price. But otherwise, I think the leadership of Algorand is doing a great job, and that's regardless of price. Stacy is still the warden. She's still out there smacking people on stage.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I like Stacy a lot. She's real solid. She took some heat and initially after her transition, but it's been like what, over 2 years now, maybe, I feel like. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been cool with Stacy lately. I used to see a lot of Stacy hate. I feel like I don't see much of it anymore.
Yeah, so Stacy, I think, is doing great. Excuse me. And then you got her hiring has been amazing as well. Minway is doing a great job. Mark,
Mhm.
he finally has put some marketing into Algorand's ecosystem. So we see all kind of different videos, whether they're educational or just hype. He's doing it all, and he's also speaking on podcasts and stages, and of course, John doing his thing the whole time. So there's no
Mhm.
question about that. So
Yeah.
in terms of leadership, events, price, I think Algorand is actually excuse me, I'm choking.
Oh,
Excuse me.
I get it, man. I get it.
Hold on.
No problem. Yeah, well, I was actually gonna ask you, have you tried to get Stacy on your show?
Not in a while. Because I spoke to a lot of the foundation people when I was in Decipher.
Mhm.
So as y'all know, I've mostly been doing the last year to 6 months. I really was locked in on the next block, which I kind of
Mhm.
slowed down on my personal channel, kind of just based on how much I was doing over at the next block. I found it a little hard to balance. Um, so it was working out fine. And then we kind of slowed down on the next block. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to slow down. So let me make sure I keep building on my channel, which where I started. So on this channel, no, I haven't had any like foundation people on, but like I talked to them so recently that I think it's okay, because like at Decipher, I did a massive interview with like I think 9 different builders, and
Oh,
so it
nice.
was like Hasape, the UN, Minway, Mark. Like I talked to everyone, and I felt like that was good for a while. Maybe I'll reach out and see what we can do in the new year. But otherwise, I don't think there's much to talk about right now, because everything they said they were going to do at Decipher is happening right now, and I think
Yep.
it's a good idea for them to jump on other people's channel that's outside the ecosystem, so that way they can have a fresh interview. So maybe
That's
in
fair.
2025. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't, I actually haven't had much luck with foundation people in general, lately, which is sort of strange to me. Maybe they're trying, yeah, maybe they are trying to, as you mentioned, like step outside of step outside of the Algorand ecosystem and get to bigger YouTubers. But I mean, I do have a pretty good reach these days. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I
your
think it'd be
channel
nice if they,
popping. Yeah,
yeah.
you killing them with consistency and good
Mhm.
content. So like, yeah, so it's impressive. It's motivating as well. So it definitely make me want to stay on my grind. And my channel also has grown a lot recently. I think
Yeah,
the bigger we get, man, they're gonna be calling anyway. Because
for
yeah, with
real.
the next block, we had pretty much everyone in the whole Algorand ecosystem on that channel. So I feel like we hit
Mhm.
like a breaking point too, that they probably do need to spread out. But they'll be back. They'll be back.
They'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah, if they
Like
spread, they'll
Fred
be back.
Estante was gonna come on at 2 today, and then he, I guess they just couldn't make it work, just too many holiday deadlines, things they wanted to
Yeah,
get
I
done
get
before
it.
the holiday, and, John Woods was trying to come on. He's like, "Man, even with permission, I still couldn't make it happen, sorry, man." He's like,
Yeah,
"Well, come on, I'll come on, early next year." So, but I gotta give him
you
credit.
know,
He's actually the first time he came on, he reached out to me after I did a reaction video when he was on BitBoy Crypto. And he's like, "Hey, I really love
I
that video. I
remember
wanna
that.
come on." And then boom, he popped on. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. John's dope. I like John. I think also a lot of them are in like Europe and stuff like that. So sometimes our time like don't always mix really well. I feel like, and I'm even further west than you are, so it'd be trouble for me sometimes.
Oh, right. Yeah, the time zone can be pretty difficult. And yeah, I don't you're right. I don't think they're all in the same place. I know John's in Ireland, right?
Yeah, he's in Ireland. Stacy, she be traveling, so I think she in DC. Fred's like in South America, or Brazil or something like that.
Brazil. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not, they don't have that many American employees basically.
Hmm. Yeah, well, Fred was caught up in that whole Brazil X thing where they
Yep.
basically had to shut down X in Brazil, and I think he went on to that other decentralized Algorand based, kind of looks like a
Yeah.
DOS version of Twitter. I think you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. I
We
can't remember the
coop.
name of it.
We
Yeah,
coop.
Recoup, right? That's what it was.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that's funny. I don't hear much about that app anymore though.
No, I guess that was probably one of the main reasons to be on it was to get Fred's updates, and now his updates are on Twitter. So I
Yeah.
farm
He's
those.
back.
I don't know. It's probably no secret. I farm those a lot because there's some good news in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Fred's on point. I like Fred. I haven't spoke to him in a while either. Give me a moment. Let me hop off and I'll hop right back on if you want to plug me off the stream real quick.
Oh yeah, sounds good. Well, we can go through some chats for a second here. Where were we? All right. Diagnosis narrative will take place. I'm trying to think. We went through some of these. Everyday Algonauts responding to Xavier Martin says, yes, you can swap Algo to liquid Algo tokens, for example, or a mid bridge. And the last official thing stated January in the email. So she doesn't want to get sued. It looks like Seawill is are you ready to be back on?
Yeah, I'm ready. I appreciate it. I had to take
No
it. I was
problem.
like, today I'm not missing I always say it backwards, but FrugalBC stream. I was let me hop on. I love Christmas streams.
Yeah, it's
That's why I
cool.
wore the red a little bit.
Well, yeah. So since you brought up Christmas, any big Christmas plans? Anything you're hoping to get for Christmas or anything like that?
No, my gift already came early, so I have my
Really?
baby boy is here about 2 months ago almost.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, so that was the big one. But nah, man, I'm just low key just dealing with him. Thanksgiving was really busy for me, so I'm trying to like have a quiet Christmas. What about yourself?
I hear you, man. I have like the week off from the day job next week. I'm actually off today, and just still gonna be working hard on my channel and my newsletter, and
Yep.
getting prepped for leaving full time work early next year. And that's a meeting with an accountant next week, and
Okay.
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like it's exciting, it's scary, all that stuff.
Yeah. Congrats. Yeah, jumping off the porch, independent.
Have you been
Congrats.
independent for a while?
I kind of like yeah and no at the same time. So I do a lot of like outside of like crypto, and so I do like contract work and things.
Oh,
So
okay.
like teaching, I'll be working at schools, different like programs and things of that nature, and then sometimes do some like PR work behind the scenes for things. So kind of bounce around a lot. So
Okay,
but
that's
my
cool.
background is in media, so I'm always like doing something media or production related. But this last like a year or so, I've been pretty much independent. So
Okay,
yeah. So yeah. But I do a lot of it's a mixture of things to make it happen.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the route I'm going to some degree.
Yeah,
Taco,
yeah. I
love you,
think
man.
yeah, congrats on the 5K. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't. I
Yeah, I'm
was
hoping.
this live stream was going to be like my big push to get to 5K, and then that HBAR video I made just like popped off,
Oh yeah.
hit five figures in 2 days. I was shocked,
Oh
and
wow.
it probably brought about almost 200 subs just that one video. It was like holy crap.
Oh wow. Yeah. See, that's why the bull market, anything can happen.
Hmm.
Like straight up. I made a Cardano video. So I did an interview with DZ over there at Discover Crypto.
Oh yeah, I saw
And
that.
then yeah, chill guy, really smart. So that was like pretty
Mhm.
dope to have him on the show. But then I dropped a clip from it and it went crazy.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So there
Yeah,
was
you gotta farm those clips, man. That's what I've
yeah,
had
you do.
clips that will like do 10 times what the original video did.
Exactly what happened. Yeah. So I was like,
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been doing that. So I've been having a few pop off more than like my general numbers. But again, I kind of, just start pushing back hard again on my channel maybe like a month or so ago, 2 months ago. So it feels real good though. I like to stay making videos and staying with my posts on the market and the crypto. Of course, Twitter helps. Excuse me, my main resource, I would say at this point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, you've been doing really well, man. I've been watching. I've been seeing a lot more of your videos popping up, so that's good.
Yeah, it's
I had
passive income time.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. And by the way, guys, you should go check out wait, I'm drawing a blank. Passive Income Network.
passive
Yes.
income network. Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go check it
yeah,
out. Go
yeah.
check out his channel and give it a sub if you haven't already. It's good stuff. Yeah, so I actually interviewed DZ, I think it was 2 years ago. So that was before the whole BitBoy crypto breakup.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty interesting stream. I felt bad because like just a bunch of stuff went wrong on my end. And it's like, of course, when you have someone as a big creator come on and
Yeah,
that's when everything goes haywire, you're like, God dang it.
yeah. It'd be
But
like
it
that.
was cool. He was pretty cool about it. So he was like he was a big Magic the Gathering guy before he really got into crypto. So
Oh
I
wow,
was a big Magic guy in high school. So we kind of bonded over that. It was pretty fun.
that's dope. Yeah, yeah. I never did. I like Pokemon
Oh
back
yeah,
in
it's
the
like
day.
it's kind of the same realm, so to speak.
Okay, that
Did you
makes
play the
sense. But
cards?
yeah, I like. I did collect cards, but I was really into like the Game Boy
Boy
games.
game,
That's
yeah.
what I really. Yeah. That was my favorite by far.
That's cool. Yeah, I played some Pokemon Yellow back in the day.
Yeah. Yep. Yellow classic. Yep.
Yep, good
So yeah,
stuff.
that's what I liked. Yeah. So you can never get enough of that type of stuff too. It's always good nostalgia.
Mhm. For real. What do you think about Algorand going into 2025? So we kind of gave the recap of this year. What do you think we got ahead for us?
I think more promises fulfilled, right? Or things that they put out there. So I'm really looking forward to staking. I think it was like close to 12,000 wallets have more than 30,000 algo, something of that.
Oh
Correct
wow.
me if I'm wrong in the audience, but it was something like that. So that number has grown. I've been watching the nodes online have grown. So that means we're getting more decentralization. For those who care about that, they'll start to invest more into Algorand. So I think that will help out and put Algorand in a position where people want to earn passive income, spread out the network. I think that'll be huge. And as long as they, get more his side pay type companies, right, that are travel X's that are using it, you start to see the Black Rocks, those type of companies paying attention more because they're, I believe, fundamentally driven more than just price speculation. Because we all know if you really just want some price action, at this point, you can buy Bitcoin as undefeated. Solana,
True.
damn near undefeated. So, and I know these big funds, your market cap needs to be a lot larger for them to like really hop into it. They want to be able to. So if Algorand can get his market cap to like that 20 billion, 25 billion, I think it shoots up a lot more based on institutional investors. And then the position in like Coinbase's 50 becomes larger. So
True.
I'm seeing that. But yeah, as long as they stay the course, stay the path, it's happening.
What did you think about did you see that Weiss Crypto upgraded its Algorand ranking? So it's now like one of only 5 cryptocurrencies that received an A rating. They gave it an A minus.
I did see that. Yeah. See, stuff like that I think is big.
Mhm.
Because like we know, like you was talking about Sui a lot. Sui went down momentarily at one point
Yep.
recently. So it kind of, which is funny. What's your thoughts on they don't talk about it much, but the ISO 220 tokens? It seems like all of those ones, right, are actually getting the attention.
See, well, you saw my big video on my big takedown of ISO 20022, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna have to go watch it.
So I got to give JT credit. I actually invited JT to the stream too. I thought he'd be fun to chat it up. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
he's going to
definitely.
make it or not. He was traveling today. But so JT in 2022, or maybe it was 2023, interviewed Stacey Warden, and he asked her about ISO 20022, and she said, "Well, hold on, I don't know what you're talking about, because there's no way for Algorand or any cryptocurrency to be compliant with a bank messaging standard." And so I was like, so I've been sharing this stuff, like I was sharing these videos about ISO 20022 just like everybody else. And
Me
someone in the
too.
chat said, "Hey, that's all nonsense, right?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Look at this video from JT." So they timestamped it, thankfully. And I saw that, I was like, "Oh, holy, no way." So then I'm
Interesting.
like, well, I started looking into it. I started researching ISO 20022, and on the site, it specifically says there's no such thing as compliance with. It's like there's nothing to be compliant to. It's basically it replaces the Swift messaging syntax, basically. So when they send these payment messages, there's like a certain messaging standard that they use, and they're all switching to this new one. And John Allen Woods also confirmed this. He's like, yeah, there's really no way functionally for a blockchain to be ISO 20022 compliant. Now, that doesn't mean that, of course, these coins, a lot of these ones we talk about, like HBAR, like Algorand, I mean, they're great for cross-border payments because they're fast, they're secure, etc. Blah blah blah. Um, but he said, like, at the DApp level is where there could be some use of the ISO 20022 standard. Like if you had a DApp that was doing bank messaging, the DApp could use that syntax. But this whole idea of, like, there's these coins, and then there was supposed to, like, XRP and Stellar were supposed to be like, what was they use a different term for that, not even compliant, but like certified or something. Like that's just all it's just all made up.
So they
And
sold
it just
us
blew
a
my mind.
narrative.
So the
Yeah,
XRP
yeah.
engineer also talked about that, by the way.
Wow. Um, well, I mean, it kind of went away. People stopped talking about it, so it must be true,
Right.
right?
Right. It's kind of
But it's
funny.
kind of
Like
funny
no
that,
one's really talking about it. Every once in a while it pops up, but it's been really quiet lately.
and it's funny, but they all kind of pumped at the same time, right? So
Right.
it's like, yeah. So it felt like it was, oh, it's coming back, but okay. I think they all pumped too, just because they are just smooth chains to use, basically.
Hmm.
Like there's nothing really smoother. Honestly, I haven't used XRP or Stellar Lumens in a long time,
Yeah.
but I do know they're fast. They send in a few seconds. What I'm kind of disappointed about is the Cosmos ecosystem right now.
Oh, really?
Not pumping, yeah, not pumping like I thought they would. Like year to date, Cosmos, Injective are down. That blows
Hmm.
my mind.
Wow.
And those coins, I would say, are just as smooth as all the rest of them.
Mhm.
I don't know what
Yeah,
happened.
I've got a nice little bag of Cosmos. I've noticed it hasn't moved very much, but I have that one off my Coinbase, so sometimes I kind of forget about coins that I have off of Coinbase, except for Algorand because I'm using that like every day.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
really
I
that's
don't know
really
what.
interesting though.
Yeah, but yeah, that ISO 220, um, that's kind of funny. We got played a little bit.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. Because I when I first saw that comment, I was like, well, what's going on? I mean, I thought it was crazy at first. I'm like, well, this is everywhere. And yeah, it's just one of those things that kept going around, I guess.
Yep. They definitely it got to me, but here we are though. It still worked out
Got to
because that
all of
was
us,
like
for
years
real.
ago. Yeah. Yeah. So all right, BC, I gotta start to head out in a second. You got any other like thought or idea before I head out?
Yeah, well, I was actually gonna ask, like, outside of Algorand, what are you excited about right now?
Oh man, outside of Algorand, I'm excited for the base ecosystem. I've been talking
Oh
about
yeah.
base a lot, but in particularly Moonwell, right?
Hmm.
So Moonwell, so in the Ethereum, you got Aave, Algorand, you got Folks Finance, base, you got Moonwell. And I just actually, y'all look out for it. I probably release it on Monday. but I just did an
Mhm.
interview with the Moonwell core contributor founder, Luke Youngblood. Find him on Twitter. Smart dude. But yeah, what they're building is just amazing, right? So Moonwell, just throw out some things about it. Moonwell has just passed like a total market size of $1 billion. That's like borrowing and lending combined. And then they have like all these vaults and different ways to earn yields on there. So for when all the people, are supplying and the people, the demand for the USDC goes up, so you get to earn fees and all these things are happening. So Moonwell is like my go-to platform for borrowing lending. And I know people like folks finance, but I think like Moonwell is doing everything that you need to do properly and right. And they also just dropped their debit cards recently.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, it's like a lot of stuff going on. So what Base is doing right now is they got a global push for like on-chain finance. So Asia, Africa, South America, plus the stuff they're doing seems to be compliant even in the US. So for them to be working with Visa, we can all actually use the cards right now and spend USDC, borrow against your Bitcoin, load your car up, and you can go do what you want to do there. And they have it on the Apple Watch, Google Pay. You can eventually, I believe, you can get a physical card coming soon. So it's like some big
Wow.
stuff. So I'm bullish on the Moonwell ecosystem. I love Aerodrome as well. That would be like Algorand's Tiny Man, those type of things. So I would encourage y'all to check out that right there, Moonwell.
Yeah, and I think you got a bunch of videos about that on your channel, right? So yeah,
Yeah, a whole
you guys
bunch.
are
Yeah,
interested in Moonwell and in the Base ecosystem. Definitely go check out Passive Income Network. Good stuff
yeah.
on there. And Sewell, appreciate you coming on, brother. Always good to see you.
Appreciate you.
And you have a great Christmas and great New Year's.
Yes, you too. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. And then you still got to come hop on Passive Income Network and hop on a live stream one of these days, maybe in the new year after the holidays.
Yeah, let me know, man. I'm always game.
Appreciate it. All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, take care, man. Oh, that was fun. At least we had one guest. I'm gonna check X just to see because we should be close to our giveaway now. We got Feely is gonna be coming on. I don't know. I haven't heard from her. Sorry, I gotta do this because I gotta figure out this echo thing. Like when I use my headphones, it echoes. Yeah, I'm sorry, we got behind the chat a little bit. But yeah, appreciate it, Taco. So thanks so much. Thanks for being a channel member too, by the way. I appreciate that a lot. So Everyday Algonaut says ISO 22 is about the XML schemas for how, for example, bank statements are produced. It's good for accounting. I have one project which converts PayPal CSV files into SEPA XML standard. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you know what I will say? Boy, my camera all of a sudden doesn't want to cooperate. There we go. It's interesting stuff. It's not like ISO 20022 is a real thing. It just doesn't generally have anything to do with crypto from what I've seen, but that's really interesting. We just cover. I'm not covering that again. I just explained why that whole thing was basically nonsense, coming straight from the people who actually work in crypto. Yeah, so we get Feely coming on probably pretty soon. We're going to we're gonna do our little giveaway. Boy, my camera's going haywire all of a sudden. Like, here we go, back to normal. So now I'm like this because there's got to be a way to do that. Yeah. So appreciate everyone's messages. I hope. Try to go back through and see. Oh, okay. I missed this one. Oh, I know what I was going to ask. I was going to ask Sewell a little more about Decipher, what his experience was it like, and how it compared to 2022. Because that's when we met in person. We met at Decipher in 2022. Him and JT and Crypto for Change all were there, along with Coop, along with MJ, all the good folks. Xavier L. Martin says, "Will you have a staking instruction video?" So what I'm going to do, my main goal is actually to do like a comparison video when it goes live. I want to compare the Well, all of a sudden I have like 60 chats. That's weird. Um, I want to do a video comparing the different liquid staking options to actually running a node and see which one's better and just kind of compare them. My sense is you'll make more staking on your own node, but there's probably more room for error would be my guess. Well, I wonder if like there was a backlog. Jason Cowett says, I'm going to try and look into it. If it's true, you can hold their stock on chain. I heard that was the case. Okay. Pokeshawn says I made 100% on it. Oh, wait, we're way behind. Hold on. Wait, okay. Something happened with my chat. Okay, actually, we're caught up on chat. So, yeah, like kind of the last thing we've got here really is for, oh, did I not send her? Okay, she's here. 1 second. Oh, she's got the link. Okay, cool. I was just going to send it to you again. Okay, so Feely should be here in a second, as soon as that works. Meanwhile, I got to pull up the chat. So, yeah, if you're a member, look out because we're about to drop a million Nico on somebody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to random generate a number between 1 and 12 and whatever number that runs on. I'm not going to share the screen view because I don't think that's right to show people. I don't want anybody to see the whole list of members. I don't think that's right. But she should be on here pretty soon. Oddities Music says, don't buy Bartledew. Well, I don't even know who that is, so. Let me just copy the link and send it to Feely. And yeah, very exciting. We're about to give away 1 million Nico. That's really exciting. Todd Stevens says, when FrugalBC coin? I gotta tell you, that scares the heck out of me. That really scares the heck out of me. I almost, so there's kind of a long story to this, but I almost created a meme coin for somebody else, and it just made me too nervous. In the end, like it was going to be a joke coin because it was someone else's podcast. They were like non crypto people, but they always joke about, it's a husband and wife, and the husband always jokes about making a coin for his wife called Mindy Coin. And so, in fact, in case if you're curious, it's the Mindy on Money podcast. Mindy and Carl on Money podcast. It's a good podcast, and I actually saw him in person when I went to Colorado, and we kind of talked about doing this. We kind of talked about doing this coin. I said, well, I could create one really quick, which is true. It's pretty easy to create one, and maybe if I did it on Rug Ninja, that would be a good way to do it. Maybe I still will. I don't know, but we're going to do it. And then I started asking around some questions of people who had created coins, and I don't know. It just made me a little nervous, I guess. So, yeah, it should be. So Feely asked me about joining, and yeah, I don't see her yet. She should be coming on pretty soon. Xavier says, can you please explain what happened, the rug story you talked about earlier? Yeah, so basically, there was this guy who the really short version is there was this guy who claimed to be from ICP, and he was leaving ICP to come to Algorand. Michael Jordan had retweeted his tweet about it. He apparently followed me, and I don't know for how long he's followed me. His name actually looked familiar, so I thought he was, I thought it was a little strange because I'm like, that was an ICP guy, but he's been following me. I don't know. Anyway, so on Algorand, he made this coin called Algo Tardio. In fact, I could. So he made this coin. He made this coin, and apparently, all of a sudden, his account disappeared. He apparently pulled his liquidity. I don't know. It's still listed as him being a top holder. So I don't know if he actually got rid of it. But the funny thing is the coin really didn't tank that much. I mean, it tanked, but then it kind of went back up, and I'm told that there's like a community takeover of it. Apparently, he minted some NFTs and some other stuff. Now, the really wild part is apparently he lives near me, like about 2 hours. I said an hour and a half. I think it's actually probably more like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours away from where I live. If it's him, the person they claim it's him, they seem like it's pretty solid. So, yeah, apparently he like stole some bikes from some lady. Jeez. So yeah, this is kind of what happened. So it was a really wild story. But I just thought it was interesting because the coin didn't really drop them. It has been dropping in the last couple hours now again, but apparently there's a community takeover, and he only had like 2.85% of the supply. So there's still a lot of people with a lot of this coin. So Xavier asked, okay, sad dude, but did it affect Algorand in any way? I mean, I guess it depends what you mean. I mean, I would say not really. Honestly, I mean, I don't think it really did affect Algorand all too much, other than maybe a little less trust, I guess. I think that's fair, but well, anyway, we got Feely on, and that's a good way to start. He says Feely is the best, which is awesome. Let's bring her up. Feely,
Hola.
what's going on?
I just got in my car, ran in my car, and logged on, hoping you're still here.
Very
You made
nice.
it
Yeah,
this
that's how.
far.
Very cool. Well, good to see you in person. Hope things are going well.
Going good. How long has it been going on now? Is it three hours?
We've been going for over 2 hours, 2 hours and 7 minutes.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, busy morning, but yeah, giving away 1 million Nico.
Heck yeah. All right.
How are we doing it? Is it like a draw?
It's like yeah, so I got my channel members pulled up on my end. So what I was thinking I was going to do is to do a random number generator on my end. And are you able to see Twitter?
Will it mess anything up if I like back out of this? You know what? I pulled up this link on Twitter.
Oh, you did.
So,
okay.
yeah, so I don't want to, if I hit done, it's gonna like take me back to the app, and I'll probably lose. I can copy and paste the link into my browser and then rejoin if you'd like, so I can open up my Twitter app.
Yeah, actually, why don't I just do the drawing? I'll pop you off, and then I'll send the name to you, and then I'll bring you back on, and you can announce the winner.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then I will send it to you and bring it back on.
Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, so it's time, guys. If you're a channel member, you have a chance to win 1 million Nico. Just give me 1 second. Big drum roll. Okay, that is Aurora's. Okay. All right, we have a winner. Okay, we have a winner. And yeah, so what's going to happen is if in case she can't, if that person doesn't claim it, then we will award it to somebody else. So, but I sent it to her. She's got the name now, and she can pop back in, and then we are going to award a winner. And I see her there, and back on. There she is.
Do you have a drum roll?
Drum roll.
It's Aurora C or Aurora.
Aurora C. Yep, that's it. So Aurora, I didn't see her in chat. I don't know if she was watching, but she is the winner of 1 million Nico. And like I said, if we don't hear from her in a certain, give her a time, we'll go to we'll re-roll off stream and give her the next one. So
yep, I just need your wallet if we get in touch with her, and then I will send it your way.
Okay, sounds real good. So we'll handle all that off stream. But Feely, anything you want to give a shout out to, or anything on your outlook for 2025?
I'm looking forward to launching for Realms to launch the Zombies game. So that's
Oh,
something.
yeah.
I believe a few days ago, David or Realms, I'm sorry, we tweeted about the beta version coming out. We're hoping in a few days, but given the holidays, maybe January. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It'd be cool. Yeah. So it'll be the beta version. So we're just testing it out, but really looking forward to it because it's the Realms team has been working so hard, and it's crazy because it's December and that's when Realms launched, or we announced what our vision was to build the metaverse, and we've already been working for about a year, so it's crazy.
That's awesome.
That's about
And is it going to be open beta? Can anybody play it?
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I know we're gonna let some of the community members test it out. I know some have asked. I mean, if you want to test out the game, just reach out either to me or to David or the Realms account. You can just message the Realms account and see how you can participate.
Yeah, let's stay in touch on that, because I'll definitely I'd love to test it out and maybe do some content around it. And I'm always careful with the caveat that it's beta, so it's pretty early yet, and there's going to be bugs and things. That's just part of how it works. Have you gotten early looks at it then, at the game?
I've seen just what the devs have shared. I haven't myself gotten to play with it, but they'll send me videos of them interacting with it on their screen, and that's about it. But it looks really, really cool. They're doing such a good job. And I haven't myself gotten to play with it, but I know, right? I should.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be really fun. So I'm really excited. I'm glad that that's coming out. I think it kind of took me by surprise. It was a couple months ago that I saw the announcement on it. So that's great. Very awesome that that's coming. How about the WOM crew? What's up with the WOM crew lately?
Same. Poker every day.
Yeah.
Just hanging out. We just like to lay back there and just have a good time. You can, let loose, and that's when everybody from the community can be raunchy, and you don't have to hold back. You can say some bad words, if you want to.
Well,
just kidding.
Well, you got some
good.
raunchy folks like Ice Age Trails in there, so you got to be.
Oh yeah.
Got to keep it real. One of the few Algo
have,
fan people I've met in person.
Lynchy?
Ice Age.
Oh, Ice Age. Yeah,
Yep.
nice. I got to meet him as well too. It was last November. We got to throw some axes together, which was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you were up in.
Lord Beluga's face.
I saw that you were up in my neck of the woods.
Yeah. I wish we were buddies then. Could have figured something out, but next time.
For sure.
Next time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, you have any big Christmas plans coming up?
Not really. Just hanging out with the fam. It's gonna be real small and intimate, and that's always nice. But nothing
That's
much.
cool.
I just got back from vacation. I went crystal mining. I'm actually wearing my crystal sweater that I got.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna give away a bunch of rocks to my family. That's the Christmas present.
Very nice, very nice. Where did you go crystal mining?
I went to Arkansas. It was
Oh, cool.
Hot Springs. I stayed in Hot Springs, and I went to two mines. I went to Ron Coleman mine. That one you have to pay to dig, and then I went to Crystal Vista. That mine is free. You just have to hike. Um, you just have to hike to the spot, and you have to take your tools and yeah. So it was good. It was good. It whooped my ass because you have to carry everything, and everything you find, you have to carry it back. And I wanted to take everything, so I was exhausted
Yeah.
by the end of my trip. But it was really fun. I think my next trip, I want to go to South Carolina. Apparently, you can find amethyst out there. And the videos that I've watched, like people would pull out big clusters, and I would love to find some.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Have you heard of Wisconsin moonstone?
I have not.
You should look that up. We have a moonstone, like a place where you can go pick your own moonstone. So it has like that blue shine to it. It's really cool.
Oh, I gotta
And
look it up.
there's
I've
a
been
there's
wanting
a
to go
place.
to what is it called? What's the lake that's up there? Lake Michigan. Hello. Apparently, there's
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of cool rocks out there too. I
Oh
would
yeah.
like
I
to
know a lot of
check
my
out.
friends of mine like to go up to Lake Michigan. It's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
definitely on my list.
It's
And
it's
what's
like
nice is
being
that
at the
it's
ocean, but
tumbleweed
not the
ready.
ocean.
I know it looks like the ocean when I went
Mhm.
in November. I couldn't believe how big it is. Like how wow, yeah, so beautiful out there. I love the trees. I'm out in Texas, so it's just open, but it just the air out there just feels so fresh and it's so beautiful. I love Wisconsin.
Nice. Yeah, me too. What are you most excited about for in Algorand besides the Realms game coming up?
Hmm. I'm excited about staking.
Yeah.
Right, that's coming out soon. So yeah, that's something that I'm really excited about. But I
So
can't really
are
think
you
of
gonna run a
anything.
node?
Oh, I'm not even close to 30,000 algo.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
I
so
would
easy to
I'm
spend
I'm pretty
algo.
I'm pretty invested in my LPs, so I don't
Yeah,
think I'm going to change that strategy, but it's interesting. I think it's good for the ecosystem for sure.
yeah, for sure. And I was about to say I have a hard time keeping my algo. It's so easy to just buy things. So I'm always like buying shit and using my algo. I need to
Right.
stop. Yeah, but yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
cool, cool.
Feely, I appreciate you coming on and announcing the winner, and we'll chitty chat about that in the background, and I'll put out a call on the community tab to have the person claim their reward. So once I get a address for you, I'll forward that on. But anyway, thanks for coming on. I hope you have a nice Christmas and New Year's.
Thanks. Thanks for inviting me. I'm glad I made it. Oh, is somebody asking about the Nico jobs? I think somebody
Oh, let
is.
me see. Pull
The
chat up
Nico
here.
jobs did stop. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Um, and we're gonna have like a league table system coming out at the beginning of the year. And yeah, we're gonna have a different system of claiming your Nico. So yeah, no more Nico jobs.
Gotcha.
Unless
Well,
the
thanks for
table isn't out yet. Like if it's not finalized, then we'll just go back to the drops until then. But yeah. Clap. Someone said clap. Okay. Yay.
Yay.
Okay. I need to drive home and get ready to go whoop some
Okay.
ass. I got training tonight.
Cool, cool.
So
Well, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, and have a good Christmas and New Year's.
you too. Until then.
Okay.
Till
Bye
next
bye.
time. Bye.
Cool, cool. That was fun. Okay, I can take these off because the echo gets to me. Well, that was really fun. Yeah, we're probably gonna wrap up pretty soon. Thanks for everyone in the chat, and congrats, Aurora C. We will try to get in touch with you through the membership tab. And yeah, I've never done a giveaway, so hopefully that works pretty well. But yeah, we should look at realms for a second here. I think I have this. Oh, maybe I don't have it pulled up. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I think this is really cool. seems like it's slowing me down and slowing down my computer, so we probably won't stick on here very long, but we're almost done anyway. Yeah, I'd say a live stream went pretty well. I would have liked a few more guests to come on, but yeah, so you can connect your wallet. I'm just not connected on this particular computer, but I do have some of the, I do have a space. So if you want, the spaces are 99 Algorand, and that gets you a space in the ecosystem. Realms is like a 3D sort of a metaverse kind of a thing. It's like the only metaverse project on Algorand. And then 30, yeah, if you want to buy the drop boxes, which get you little things for your character, little boots and hats and things like that, and that's 30 Algorand, so that's pretty fun. And then yeah, there's like a marketplace too, so you can buy others. But that's pretty exciting about the game. I almost forgot about that actually. I'm glad she mentioned that. Pretty fun. Kind of taking a while to load. And meanwhile, while that's loading, I'm just sort of curious how yeah, it was got pretty good views. Dude, you always get really good views on X. We got like 113. Yeah, so these are some of the things you can buy, and 10,000 Nico. So the Nico is the NAKO for those that didn't know. I probably should explain that better. It's sort of the native currency for this thing, and there's pants, or is this shorts? Look like shorts. Some hairstyles. Some people put up some stuff. Not that many stuff up for sale though yet. Probably because, like, I mean, for 30 algo, you can buy like a whole thing. And these are commons. It looks like. Oh, it just didn't load. Oh, there's a lot more stuff. Never mind. A lot of commons. Is there like rare stuff on here? I thought maybe I could filter it by like rarity, but doesn't look like it unless I'm mistaken on that. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. I'm really excited for that game to come out. I like trying different games on Algorand, and yeah, I'm kind of out. You guys got any more questions, or otherwise, I think we might just wrap up the stream. We still did pretty good. We went for, that's definitely a record for me. I've never gone for 2 hours. I'll be honest, like I don't know how the streamers can go for, they'll go for like 6 or 7 hours. I just don't know how they talk that long. It's crazy. It was nice. We had Sewell on, and we had Feely come in toward the end there and announce the winner. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it overall. Would have been nice to have like one or two of the foundation folks on, but we reacted to some videos. We had fun there. So Poke Sean says, much love all. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate everyone. And yeah, just to kind of cap things off, like I really appreciate everyone helping me get to 5,000, because that was like originally my goal with this stream, was like to be kind of like a subathon where I try to get I try to get up to 5,000, and we're actually pretty close to 5,100 right now subscribers on YouTube. And yeah, if you're watching on Kick, I appreciate you, because that's a really hard nut to crack. I really actually would like to get more viewership on Kick too. And X has been huge. I mean, you just get the viewership is crazy. I mean, we got like 100 some right now. In fact, yeah, 113 on X right now. That's really something. But yeah, I appreciate everyone helped this channel grow. When I started this thing, I had no idea how it would do. Everyday Algonaut says, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Same to you, Everyday Algonaut. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate everyone who was able to join us today. And yeah, it's a great way to start the new year. I'm hoping to really up my content game next year once I am able to leave the day job. So, and it's not just from 5,000 subscribers. Like, even if you do it right, it's not going to get you, even where I live, which is where things are pretty low cost of living. Like, that's just not going to get you. That's not going to like help you end the day job, like, right? Like, it's just not going to cover the bills. But this plus my other business venture together plus, you know, some Algorand rewards and stuff easily over the line. So it's time. I think it's time for me to really focus on my businesses. And that means I can up my game here too. I mean, it's just hard. It's like kind of crazy to imagine having like so much more time to work on content. Right. Cause right now, like honestly, there's a lot of times where I just have to like, there's stuff I would like to do and I just don't have the time to do it. I have to like rush it in. Or if you have like something where something goes wrong, you know, something technical glitches and suddenly you just can't make content, you know, or you're screwed for that day because your window's gone. I've had that happen a few times. I actually switched over to DaVinci Resolve and I was a little intimidated by it because I was using like a freeware one that had silence remover. That was like the main reason I wanted to use it, but it was like horribly buggy. So DaVinci, like if you haven't used that editor, it's a little confusing. But once I got started with it, actually it's pretty good. Um, and actually I think I'm almost as fast with it, even though it doesn't have the silence remover. And I think there actually is one, but plus I'm able to boost my audio. So you guys have probably noticed my audio has been like way better than usual. I have not had a complaint about my audio being too low since I started using Resolve. And I never have it on the so this Oddities Music says, "Sir, I asked you not to buy Bartledew. It looks like someone bought Bartledew." Well, I still don't know what that is, so I assure you. Also, the fact that I've been streaming means I have not bought Bartledew. I don't. Is this a joke? I don't understand what's going on here. But anyway, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to next year because I think I'll be able to up my content game even more. And maybe I can focus on getting some of these streams. I actually was thinking like maybe I could start doing a Tuesday and a Friday stream as part of my plan. So you know that would be great. Now I'm not kicking off probably till February, so things will be probably the same until February. But my basically the other thing is I have a Substack, and I do have a Substack for FrugalBC as well, but it's different. But I have a local news Substack that's really growing. So that's the thing I'm really excited about. That's really just today I had like 5 more paid subs on that, maybe 6. Actually, I think it's 6. I actually really do think it's 6. I know it's hard to say because it wraps it up, so maybe it is 5. I don't know. Okay, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. Oh, we got a chat. Although, man, Bartledew is an ASA, but I'm just joking around. Love your channel and content. Please do not buy Bartledew. I appreciate that. Okay, I got to see what Bartledew is. There's like part of me that thinks this is an underhanded way of getting me to actually buy Bartledew because you're telling me not to. Reverse psychology. Let's see. Oh, there it is. There's Bartledew. Okay, I'm gonna share. Oh wow, really shot up. Whatever it is. That's from being up. Interesting. What do you want to do? We're on a day chart here, so let's go weekly chart. So almost my boot pattern. You know, I like to talk about the boot pattern. This one is interesting because this one is more foot of the boot than the actual boot, which I know it's like super dumb. I know I do this super dumb. My boot thing is like really dumb, but yeah, it's up 24. It's up 53% in the last 24 hours. Most of that in the last hour. Well, you're lucky I had time and I could check this out. Everyday Algonaut says, yeah, don't buy the ASA gold ASA. It's RWA and will not pump. For real. Well, that's Bartledew. Otherwise, I know nothing about it. Is there more in? Like, it doesn't look like, are people chatting about this? Someone bartled dude by, let's see, which way does the direction go? Oh yeah, okay, so airdrop was a joke. I'm back. Do go up, please now. Airdrop dumpers at its finest. Yeah, and the one thing I know about these coins is like if you have a reason to have them locked in, they tend to stick around a little more. There is a this coin has a $7,700 market cap and is about $4,500 TVL. Well, that's kind of crazy. That means most of it is locked into something. Is that a tiny man? Is there a pool? Oh, let's see. Now, let me pull it up first. It's like every time I was about to jump off. Wait, is this yours? Humble DeFi's in the chat. Okay, hold on. Yeah, I got like 93 bucks in awards. It would probably right now sitting there. Bartle. Okay, I'll share this tab. Well, there's okay, so yeah, most of it is in this, there's about 3,200, which there's only like 7,700. So there's probably one on Bartle do Algorand. There's two versions. Is it that long? There's a Bartle do nerd pair. That's crazy. Like nerd is one that I don't even know what happened to that dude. Like he was a lot bigger than me when I first came on. He had like a pretty sizable channel. I mean, comparatively. I mean, because I had like maybe 100 at the time. And yeah, he came on my channel. It was like one of my first interviews. Him and Cliff from Humble5. Oops, wrong account. Haha. Says you should come through Algonauts channel. So Jimmy Lamb says Monko. Yeah, we talked about Monko. I think it was earlier this week. I did a whole thing on Monko. Just for like no really good reason. Someone's talking about Bartledew, so is that Algonauts? Is that why it came up? He's long gone. Humble5 says he's long gone. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't even looked at his channel because they had that like, well, they had what I thought was a pretty good business idea where they were going to go through and yeah, I've noticed I do. You notice I do this. I'm like the long goodbye person. I like to say I'm going to go, and then I'm like, I just dive into something else. Yeah, he had this good business idea where they were going to have this service where you could dox yourself to the company. They would certify that you doxed yourself, and that was going to make it safer to not be rug pulled. But instead, I think people, I just don't think it ever came off the ground. Humble5 says, Algonauts Discord, come by. Yeah, maybe I will. Dude, I'm like never on Discord. Like, I feel bad. There was a couple of people that I invited to the live stream on Discord, and I did that like 3 days ago, and I just checked it like an hour before the stream, and they asked like a bunch of questions. I'm like, oh yeah, it's in an hour. So kind of not a surprise that they didn't come because, yeah, I don't know. I'm just, sometimes it gets to be too much, Twitter and, which reminds me, I'm nervous. I'm actually a little nervous to do this, but I do have a Discord, and I've been kind of prepping it and hoping to set it up as like something for my channel members to participate. But I'm just worried I'm not going to do it enough. Humble5 says the Algonauts Discord is the #1 Discord. Well, that's cool. Says, okay, I'll stop shilling. Keep up the good work. Thanks, Humble DeFi. Appreciate it. Hey, you're always welcome. I mean, that's cool. I feel like there was something else I was going to talk about. Let me see if I tweeted something. Now I just kind of want to keep going. I should probably go pretty soon because I would be nice to get the dog for one more walk. And yeah, we got still 113. That's a really steady number on Twitter. I talked about Hawk 2. Well, I was thinking about starting a clips channel because I make all these clips for oh, this one. No, this one's good. Hold on. I was thinking about making a clips channel because like a lot of people, well, I make all these videos for Twitter and they're like, usually I just cut them up and they're like 2 minutes long, 2 to 3 minutes long. So I'm like, well, why don't I just put that on why don't I just put that on a clips channel too? So, the problem is like, would I take the time to make thumbnails then? Because that's different. Like the ones I make for Twitter, I can cut them up on my phone and do it really quick that way. And I could do that kind of if I get like a really quick way to. Does Canva have a iPhone app? I bet they do. I'm kind of thinking out loud a little bit here. I think it does. Oh, okay. Okay. It does have an iPhone app. So I could maybe spit out a thumbnail really quick. Yeah, maybe I'll have some time over the Christmas break, so I might actually do that. Interesting. Jimmy Lamb says, awesome. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to share this one and then we're going to go, I promise. So we're actually going to get almost 3 hours. So this is from Michael Saylor. Someone asked him about property and his conviction in Bitcoin. I just think this is kind of interesting.
If you don't have the homestead exemption and you're not a citizen, then that means you buy $10 million worth of property, you pay $200,000 of tax. Then they actually assess it up 15% a year. So that means that in 10 years, the property's valued at 30 million. You owe $600,000 in tax. In the next 5 years, you've lost all your money. Okay, but I thought Florida was low tax state, huh? I thought property was a good investment. Well, let's make it simpler. What if I make the tax rate 5% a year? What if I make it 50% a year? Like, what if, so the point really is all of these are simple rules of thumb that allow people to not think for themselves. You're on a ship, the ship is sinking, there's 10 boats in front of you. One of the boats doesn't have a hole in it. The other 9 boats have holes in them. You got 10 members in your family. Are you going to put one kid in each of the 9 boats or the like? Or are you going to put everybody in the boat that doesn't have the hole in it?
Okay, so you come to that level of conviction, which is intoxicating, by the way.
It's not conviction. It's not conviction. It's just rational thinking for yourself.
Ooh, Michael Saylor mad.
Are you moving your entire family to Zimbabwe right now because, you have conviction? Or let me reverse it. Why is it that you don't move your entire family to Zimbabwe, sell all your stuff, and buy the Zimbabwe dollar? Why is it that you don't do that? Because of conviction, or just because it seems quite obvious to you that's not a good idea?
I won't say that conviction is when you don't do something, but when you go all in on something, I would say that does take conviction. Now, your conviction might be
how many
coming from
chairs
first
are you sitting on
principles.
right now?
1.
Are you all in on the chair?
I am all in on the chair.
Like the point really is you put on one pair of glasses, you've got one pair of AirPods right now. You're looking at me through one screen. You're using one microphone. That's a one microphone. Like, you trust it? Is that conviction?
Yeah.
Seems kind of scary. Why don't you diversify? Why don't you use 10 microphones? The point really is things in your life. Did you drive in 10? You're not
I don't really understand that because, that literally is conviction. You have very high conviction. I have very high conviction in this microphone, which is why I don't feel like I need to have a backup. That's like a really bizarre argument, but I think he's talking about. Let's see. Everyday Algonaut says, I am with him, but not with BTC, but with Algorand. I mean, I just don't get it. Like, that is obviously conviction, right? Like, it just seems like a bizarre way to put it, I guess. I don't know. Michael's kind of interesting, but also, like, I don't think his property question quite makes, or his analogy quite makes sense, because yeah, I bought my house in 2016 and it's worth a ton more than when I bought it. Yeah, that means my taxes go up a little. Maybe you'd say significantly, but I don't think it covers the amount that I've made, since my house is undoubtedly worth at least double. Probably actually more than that. According to Zillow, it's quite a bit more than that. I think it's probably overcooked, but yeah, it's fine, but yeah, he is kind of all in on crypto, or all on Bitcoin, when there are a lot of other coins and a lot of other assets to buy. Saying that's conviction, I mean, that obviously is conviction. That's literally the definition of the word. So yeah, kind of a weird little one, but I thought I'd share that. Okay, so now it's like, yeah, it's about 2:40, and I think I'm actually officially gonna go now. So again, thanks for everyone who tuned in. Thanks so much for everyone who's made the channel the success that it is. We got to over 5,000 this year, and I wasn't sure if we were going to make it toward the end of the year, and we ended up making it in early December. So we're actually almost pretty close to 5,100. In fact, I can find out right now. Send myself down another rabbit hole. Let me see. I mean, you guys can probably see that below. Yeah, 5089. So getting close. And yeah, it is funny. It is funny how your views follow the bull run. Everyday Algonaut says BTC is a ship which is not upgradable, will be broken by quantum computers first, and is not usable for day-to-day payment solutions. Yeah, it's interesting too. I got sent me down another rabbit hole. I was listening to All In Pod on the quantum computing thing and how it would affect Bitcoin. So it's probably still, like, I think they said about 5 years away from being able to solve that many, but it's astounding. Like, stuff that would take, what did they say, like hundreds of thousands of years for the best supercomputers, this Willow chip can solve in like 5 minutes or something. That's crazy. Okay, guys, I really appreciate everyone tuning in. This is definitely a record stream in terms of length for me, and so I appreciate that. Appreciate all the shout outs. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. I'm sure we'll do something around the new year or something too, so keep an eye out. Last year we did the orange thing, so maybe we'll do like a 1 year follow-up on the orange, the aura mining thing maybe. So all right, guys, thanks so much. I'm FrugalBC. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the future.